Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo, and this is a MeWe Awakening panel for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and online, and clearly this is one of our online events. We have 9 practitioners here tonight, all with different modalities, different ways of approaching all kinds of questions. And we're probably going to have so many interesting and different questions tonight. The theme for the panel tonight is anything and everything. So we will probably have a lot of diverse questions. We always are willing to answer questions on everything and anything. And usually there's a theme and things get a bit more focused. And tonight it's going to be broad. I'm so curious to find out what's going to happen. If you've not been to one of our events before, know that the more personal and deep questions are really the best thing for us. We love to play with you with whatever it is that you ask. Keep in mind that this is getting recorded. So if you do ask a question of the panel, it'll be posted up online. The advantage is that you get for a very low price. It's only, I think, $16 to $24 sliding scale and $10 for BIPOC. You get to hear from maybe all 9 practitioners with answers to your questions. So it's free to be here tonight to listen and learn from all that we share, and more people are coming, and our 9th practitioner is arriving right now. Let's see. So the way this works tonight, yeah, it is free to be here. We're going to go through and describe a bit about who we are, so you know who we are and how we practice. And then we'll be taking questions. You can, let me put the information in the chat again about how to pay. If you know you want to ask a question, I encourage you to jump in line quickly because usually the line fills up. We've got at least one person in line already. You can pay on PayPal or Venmo if you need to. I can run it through Square on my phone. So pay and then write me in the chat and just let me know that you've signed up, and I'll make sure to get you in line promptly. I check throughout the evening, but I want to make sure I get you in line. All right, well, let's have our practitioners start introducing themselves. And practitioners, I think tonight, since the theme is anything and everything, take your time, taking about 2-3 minutes to introduce yourself, and go ahead and talk about all the different kinds of things that you do in terms of modalities and the different types of questions and topics that you address. You know, if some of us in the beginning share all this full range of things, you know, you can always say, I should do all the same things at this, you know, not different modalities, but I can answer all the same kinds of questions. If you want to, you know, so we don't spend as much time, feel free to do that. But yeah, go ahead and share so we get the breadth and the range of who you are and what you do. Very exciting. And maybe I'm going to go through and pin the practitioners to the front for this part. So let me get you all pinned up here, and then I need to put you in some order. So we'll go through an order of introductions. All right, everyone's getting pinned up here. I just got to find Galactic Ashley and me. And so as you're watching, you can choose to go through, oh yeah, maybe only 9 of us for the time. So you can choose to either be on gallery or be on speaker and see who's speaking right now. All right, so in order, let's go ahead and we'll have the order on my screen. We'll have Susy, then Galactic Ashley, and then Jessie. So if Galactic Ashley's going to be ready. All right, go ahead. Susy, you're on.
Hi, I'm Susy Parker Goins of Blue Lightning Healing and Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited for this. I am a channel, so I bring divine energy through me and it comes out in whatever aspect is most resonant with you. So you could talk to a guide, to an ancestor, to just source in general, and you talk to them and ask them questions, get perspective, trade jokes, whatever you want. It's great fun. I also do energy healing. So there's Reiki and there's body scans, shifting energy, using breath work to help you identify blockages, and teaching you things that you can use on your own so that you can do the same things too. I'm also a past life explorer, and that's such a fascinating topic to me. What else do I do? I have a podcast called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. It's on YouTube and Anchor.fm, and I just uploaded episodes to the Transformation Talk Radio. I'm not panicked at all about that. My email is Susy@bluelightninghealing.com. That's SUSY. My website is bluelightninghealing.com. And yep, I've got a special going tonight, and I'm so looking forward to digging in. These panels have really helped me to expand my abilities and to share them with others and see how other people come in and can develop their own abilities. So I'm excited still. And again, always. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Susy. All right, great. Well, next we've got Galactic Ashley and then Jessie and then Jenna.
Hi. Thanks, Susie. Susie and I also have an event tomorrow with Wyatt Larson from the Wildwood Hollow. We're going to be connecting people to their animal totems and animal guides. So if you all want to come out, it's free and donation. Um, with that, I am Galactic Ashley, and I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing transmissions and encoded activations. So what I have going on right now, I'm really excited about, and it's my favorite course that I do all year, and it's called the Light Language Activation and Healing Program, and I'm offering a $25 discount tonight for anybody that wants to register. There are still a few seats left. We basically we get to work with light language. All of you will be activated in it. Through hand signing, through moving, through voice, through singing, through writing it, which is all on my wall behind me. It's one of our most powerful healing tools and gifts. One of the things that it can do is it can show you where within you needs healing, and also be the thing that brings that shadow part into the light. And it can be profound both in your life and in your own metaphysical practices. And so I'm just really excited, and we have our first real week of content, and I just uploaded a bunch of content last night. We're going to be talking about how we are crystalline beings and that we are a living, breathing, crystalline communication system. And so that's what we're going to be working on next week. So if you all want to check it out and come get your galactic groove on with us, I highly recommend it. So thanks for being here.
Great. We've got Jessie next, then Jenna, and then Kendara. Go ahead, Jessie.
Hi, I'm Jessie Starr. My practice is healing pathwalkers. I am primarily a teacher, a healer, energy worker. I'm an intuitive, clair-awakened psychic. I do tarot reading, and I've been reading tarot since I was about 14 years old, so 30 years now. I've been professionally doing so since I was at her house in Portland, I think 7 or so years ago, 8 years ago now. So I've been with Laureli and her programs for a long time, and I'm super excited to be here tonight, and it's been amazing watching all of this grow. I'm on the panel Sunday for careers and education, which I'm super excited about because that's a passion for me, is getting people engaged in their learning, engaged in their development, and remembering that as teachers, all we are committed learners who like to share what we're going through and what we're learning. That said, I am offering a 22% discount on any readings, sessions, or that you schedule during the fair with me here today. I offer a Wheel of Ganesh spread, which is a channeled spread where we look at, with energy work, with looking at your Akashic, we're looking at multi-strand perspective, and we work through energetically, consciousness-wise, what belief programs are running in your matrix, and how can we get you out of that space. I believe in being present in the here and now. That's where I try to focus my clients so that they can be empowered. I think you're your own greatest teacher and healer, and really you just need to learn to trust yourself and heal those wounds. I focus on trauma and trauma recovery because I come from a trauma background. I've been teaching a program, Life Mastery, for the last 6 years. I call it the 12-step recovery program to the human condition. During classes we meet, I do energy work as well as teach you about how to harness the true power of your light of awareness, how to use your body energetically to feel and move your energy, how your breath utilizes all of that. I integrate modern therapy techniques, including Jungian therapy and Gestalt therapy and EMDR and trauma processing. I teach you how to physiologically understand what's happening energetically, mentally, and emotionally, so your mind, body, spirit complex can work together. I'm an integration specialist. I also consider myself a tour guide to the inner kingdom. So I use self-hypnosis and hypnotherapy and meditations so that you can work your way through your own trauma as well as have someone you can trust and work through it with too. That's me in a really big nutshell. Anyway, I'm super excited to be here, and this is just a great group of people. Thanks, Lorelei.
Thanks, Jessie. Great. So next we've got Jenna, and then Kendara, and then Amanda, Marian, Angela, and me. All right, so Jenna is next.
Hi, I'm Jennalyn Roberts from Present Path. I offer tarot readings and I teach how to read the cards. I'm a teacher from trade. I taught ESL for many years. So I love building curriculum, and I put together a solid 9-hour class that's rich with information and practices. And we have a great group already forming. It's 129. And today you have a 10% discount with the code MeWe21. So get it while you can. Got to sign up by 4 p.m. on Sunday. The gates are closing like Indiana Jones, get it while you can. So I also am an intuition coach. I love helping people to access these skills for themselves, because we all have intuition. We all can be able to listen to our inner attunement, and as Hunter S. Thompson would say, attune to the great magnet. So, I love helping nurture people along. I think I really bring a sense of compassionate guidance with humor and lightheartedness of the craziness of life. And I'm very passionate about reading and sharing these gifts with the world. And I have a dream that someday we're going to see intuition as a language we teach in schools, so that we can all enter into self-trust on a daily basis. So thanks everyone for being here. Looking forward to answering your questions and listening to the other amazing people on this panel. PresentPathTarot.com is going to take you, if you go PresentPathTarot.com/readings or /classes, but you can just go PresentPathTarot.com and click on the link and come get a reading or a class starting Sunday with me, or some tutoring if you prefer one-on-one. Thanks so much and enjoy tonight.
Thanks so much, Jenna. Kendara.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kendara, Laurel. I'm coming from beautiful Denver, and I'm just really delighted to be here. So I'm listening to all the really amazing things everybody else does, and I want to go see all of them. But what I do is I help people find self-defeating beliefs and shift them. I do tarot, I do I Ching, and basically help you tune into your own intuition. I love to coach people. I love to teach. Everybody's intuitive, and I like to help you find out what your gifts are and bring them out. I manage the Introduction to Metaphysics meetup, which has amazing people such as Lorelei come and speak. And I mentor on a one-on-one, helping you discover your gifts. I can be reached at my website, kendaralaurel.com, or by email, kendaralaurel@gmail.com. And I am offering the special of $30 for a half hour or $60 for an hour. So looking forward to talking to some of you and answering your questions. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Kendara. All right, next we've got Amanda, then Marian, then Angela, and me. All right, let me get Amanda. Let me move you. Ooh, see if I can move your, nope, I can't move your runes cam next to you. Well, all right. So everyone, if you want to, you might want to look at, maybe I'll spotlight it and then I'll put everyone back on. All right, there we go. There's the runes cam. Go ahead, Amanda.
There it is. Hi, I'm Amanda Root with snowmoontarot.com. I do artistic rune readings, and I use tarot and crystals, and I love anything and everything topic. And I love how everybody else is like a little bit less focused today. Sorry, everyone just walked in my house, because I'm always having a hard time focusing. That's why I draw pictures, because they help me really stay on task. And when I draw them, I'm realizing the more I do these, that I'm connecting them to people's astrology charts. I'm connecting them to people's numerology and different things about them. I love pulling things together. So seeing signs outside and connecting that to what I see in the readings always makes me really happy. I guess it's all just kind of part of the whole, like everything's connected. And these always show me that it's like a reminder, validation. Yes, everything is connected. And we know that, but it's always fun when we see it on the paper. Let's see. Did I forget anything?
Well, maybe can you just say a little bit, so people that don't know runes, can you just say a little bit about where the runes are and like how you draw
yeah.
them?
These are runes. Let's see, at the bottom of my pencils, I have my runes. Hold on. Okay. All right. I got Gabo, which has to do with relationship and giving and receiving. So it's a symbol. It's an archetypal energy. It's a symbol. One of the Norse alphabet that people use for divination and protection purposes thousands of years ago, and then turned into a language. There's 24 of them. They're like letters, and they're symbols, and I put them in the wheel. I draw the wheel, which is like the alphabet in the Viking language, and then I draw all, in order, and then I draw around it. And so I read based on where the runes are, which ones are missing, which ones are connected to different pictures, what that actually means in the reading. Does that make sense?
Great. And I was just going to ask you about which ones are missing, because in the beginning, months ago, well, in my beginning of watching you do this, I remember that I think you put all of them in there, and now you don't have all of them in there. And for people that are just seeing this for the first time too, I know the drawing just evolves and evolves and evolves over the whole event. So yeah, can you say something about which ones appear on the wheel?
Well, right now, and we know that, it's going to change, but at this moment, I'm seeing the beginning of the alphabet where there's an emphasis on Rido, which has to do with the next right thing, has to do with like the journey and like how we're all in this together and we're taking one step after another, and just like the whole event today, it's like one in the path. But it also it's darkened, so I would look at that and be like, we're dealing with like the moon side of things, the darker side of things. We're not dealing with like what's out in the physical reality, but we're dealing with like the shadow, what's hidden. Okay. On our journey. That's how I would read that. And then there's like a pause. So there's like 3 missing. And this has to do with relationships actually in here. It has to do with, and now I can't even like think of what the runes are, because I feel like since they're missing, that's not what you're asking me?
No, it's great. Well, you're starting to do the reading of it. But so you're basically following, I'll just call it your intuition or whatever other messages you have about which ones appear on the wheel and what to draw and where to draw it, right? Or
well, when I draw it, I'm in a channeled state, right? So I have no idea what I'm doing when I draw it. And then when I look at it, I'm like, oh, look, what do we have? What's going on? Let's see. So if that makes sense. So when I draw it, I'm in a channeled state. When I'm reading it, I'm in an intuitive state.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Yeah, that helps. That helps explain. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, great. I am going to pin a bunch of us back in here now. And then let's see. So next we're going to have, and you're not up here yet. So next we're going to have Marian and then Angela. And I want to say Marian and Angela are with us on the panel for the first time. So it's great to have you. Great to have everyone. It's fun to have people who are new also. I love getting more of us started doing this. And it's great to have both of you here at the same time being new. All right. Who do I not have up yet? Or at least this is okay, some of us. All right, great. Let's see. So do I have the two? Oh, Marian, and I don't have Angela yet. I got to go find Angela. All right. Well, Marian, go ahead. You can start. Yeah, so go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Marian Chariat, and this is my first time on the panel. I'm really excited to be here with you. And I guess the best way to start is to say what my ministry is free to be wholly me, and supporting others in that ministry. So the soul support is basically the underpinning of what I do. Starting out, I use a card that has a what if question. And the one that I drew for tonight is, what if I could heal all that I touched? When I first started this, the spirits sent me to my rune stones for the answer. And the rune stone I drew tonight is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Ansus. I'm sure Amanda could tell me if that's pronounced properly. And it is a messenger for the god Loki. And basically it's telling us to go to the well to be nourished, and then we can support others. So my being here tonight is me coming to the well to learn from all of you how to do what you're doing, so that I can once again be doing what I feel is mine to do. The questions and answers are heart and soul questions. And from that jumping off point, I either do Reiki or spiritual response therapy, which is a process of looking at your inner relationships with other people, if you're having a challenge with somebody, and helping to clear that. The other thing that I have used is to do Reiki, or to guide someone through the process of going and doing their own soul retrieval. I don't go get it for you and bring it back to you. I support you. I ground you and hold you here so you can do that on your own. I find that much more powerful and empowering for someone than to go do it for you. So those are some of the things that I do, and I'm excited to be here and to learn from you guys and to answer any questions that Spirit shows me that are mine to answer for anybody that has questions.
That's great. Thanks so much, Marian. All right, Angela is next.
Years ago, I was struggling. I felt sad. I felt overwhelmed. I was so stressed. And I really struggled when I had negative experiences with people. I kept looping it over and over. What did I do wrong? Why did that happen? And I knew that I wasn't thinking in a healthy way. And I tried to change how I was thinking, but no matter what I did, nothing would shift. And so I dove into personal development, and I would listen to this speaker and this guru and read this book. And one day I was driving along. It was a beautiful sunny day, and I have this CD going from yet another guru. And he says, what you gotta do is stop your stinking thinking. I pulled my car over. I put it in park, and I yelled at my CD player. I don't know if you've ever done anything that weird, but I yelled at my CD player, and I said, if you don't tell me how, I'm chucking you out the window, because no one was telling me how to stop the stinking thinking. They were telling me stop the stinking thinking, but they weren't equipping me. So I pressed play, and you know the rest of the story. I'm not a litterer. I didn't throw them out on the street, but I broke that CD in half, chucked it in the trash. And a little while later, I ended up getting trained as a behavioral therapist, life coach, clinical hypnotherapist. And as I'm sitting in my training, I learned how to stop the stinking thinking. And for over a decade, I've been helping people who want to reach their higher potential. They may feel they're falling short in some way. They know that they have gifts they want to really bring to the world. They have a message they want to share with the world. They know that they want to enlarge their circle of influence. And over the years, I've been able to work with really incredible people, helping them access their own innate healing power, that innate healing wisdom that has been there the whole time. We just need a little facilitation between them and their higher power. They have everything they need. One of my clients said, Angela, after working with you, my intuition has improved 1,000 times over. He's an energy worker, a doctor. He helps a lot of people. And that brings so much joy to my heart. I was able to establish my business by giving workshops. I would speak whenever anyone would ask. I hosted workshops, and over the years, I became like a speaking nerd, and I'm now hired to speak. And I'm so excited to share with you that there's an event coming up on Monday, April 19th, where it's from 9 to 11, and we're going to explore our treasure chest within us and find those stories that can really help us express ourselves and share our message with the world in a way that we're focused on the audience, on the one, on the many, and really helping to attract and be in the flow with our business, in the flow with our lives. So I'm super excited. This will be based on how harnessing the power of your subconscious mind. And anyone who's here who registers, there's a 25% discount for you. And so it's only $30. And the principles that we will be sharing and exploring in that workshop, you can apply into your life as well. So that if you have any stinking thinking, you're going to be able to rise above that as well.
That's great. Thank you so much, Angela. And I'm Lorelei Shimayo. So I think that you all read eyes. You might know that you read eyes. You might think that eyes are important. I'm talking about reading eyes, like reading people's energy. Just like Amanda was saying, like her work is connected to so many things. I think that eyes are a window to the soul, and astrology is a window to the soul. Runes are a window to the soul. Numerology is a window to the soul. Channeling, right? All these things are windows to who we are in our pathway. Well, I think that you read eyes, and you can imagine how you read eyes by thinking about a time you've met someone with dark sunglasses, right? You can't see their eyes, and so much is missing. Sometimes it's very frustrating. And then as soon as you see their eyes, so much is there. You pick up so much in a microsecond. I read eyes in that way. I used to be a scientist. I use my scientific skills to also notice the details in what I see in you, in your energy, in subtle ways. And I've memorized a whole set of characteristics. So I have categories I put them in called archetypes. With this, I'm able to describe your soul and translate it into a language that's meaningful to you so that you can better understand yourself. One way that a lot of us don't see who we are is that whatever our soul is, it just flows through us, usually. Sometimes things get in the way, we get in our own way. When it flows through you, it just seems so easy and natural because for you it is. And if you assume, like most of us assume, that this is true for everyone and that there's nothing special about us in that, that's where we go wrong. What flows through you is special. It's your gift. Everyone is different. There are categories and people are combos of them, but we all have our own flavor. So often we don't see what's so special about ourselves because we imagine it's so common, and it's not. This is such a special, it's a special flavor of who you are. And if you can be in touch with your soul and know how to listen to your soul, and in hearing me describe this, I give you more skills for being in touch with your own soul and noticing how to follow this. I help you and you learn yourself to make great choices for all that you do and give yourself more and more permission to follow what's natural and how to express your purpose, what work might be a great fit for you, how to interact with other people now that you can start to understand their soul better so that you're satisfied and fulfilled and they are also. Sometimes it's choosing who you want to interact with. I help companies hire people that are a great fit. I help people choose partners and matchmaking. I can help you understand your kids and raise your kids in a way that's easier for them. All kinds of different things. So I love to answer questions on all sorts of different things. I also was in business for a long time and to apply this in various ways in business and all kinds of topics. I'm incredibly fascinated by what's going to happen tonight at the panel. We may end up with a bunch of questions that are similar to ones we've heard before. We may have a whole bunch of really obscure questions. We don't know. Usually when we answer questions, we start somewhere and end up pulling in all kinds of different things. I love to do that in my own work, and I'm anticipating that lots of that, and we'll have so much fun tonight. So if there's anything else I want to tell you about me, I'm also a body psychology coach, just like I pick up so much in your eyes, in your energy, and physical characteristics too. There's so much that I pick up about your body, the energy of your body, and physically the way you move and hold your body. And I use this to help coach you to be the best of who you are, to help you realize ways that you might get caught up in something in your way, be instinct thinking, just like Angela said. There are ways of noticing your body giving you signals, and also ways to shift and move your body so that you can open and expand and move through being stuck. So all kinds of things I'm going to do and we're going to do tonight. I'm really excited. So come back to the panel of all of us. So we've shared a bit about who we are. We'll check in and see if anyone has anything else they want to jump in and share, having been reminded from hearing each other talk about who we are and what we do. And then we're going to be answering your questions. I know I've got at least 2 people in line, and I might have more in line by now. And let's see. So in line so far, we've got Nadia and Eileen. And I want to say a couple things before we answer questions. So as you've heard a bit from a number of us on the panel speaking to this, we believe everyone's intuitive. We're really all open. There might be various ways we've closed down, but we all have the capacity to open. And I think that based on our own pathway, we may be more likely to open in some ways than others. So you're here, you're interested in this topic. Chances are you know that you're open. So while we answer questions tonight, you may have intuition and insight come into you. We request that you let the attention stay up on the panel tonight. You might want to write down whatever intuition or insight comes through you, because often they float, they don't stay very long. And you might want to notice, is what came through you similar to what the practitioners share? That's a way that you can help get some verification that you're really tapping in and noticing things that other practitioners are noticing. You might also get something come through you that's unique that none of us mention. It's still maybe completely connected and true. It's just an opportunity for you to continue to check in and learn to trust yourself more. For me, that's so important in opening to one's intuition and one's capacities. See, also, I encourage you to learn from all that is shared tonight, all that is asked, and all that is shared from the practitioners. We're all holding this space together. It's really one of the reasons for the name MeWe. It's about each of our own journeys, and it's about we as a community doing this all together. Yeah, so we're all holding space and doing this together as a group. And then there are 3 things I share. What are my 3 things? There's a third thing. There's a third thing. Yeah, maybe I've covered all of them. And let's see, I'm going to put the information in the chat again about how to pay. It's free to be here to listen and learn. Oh, I know what the other thing is I need to share. It's very, very important. I'm glad I remembered. So I'm going to put in the chat again about how you pay. If you want to pay, it's $16 to $24 sliding scale. You choose how much you want to pay in that. And we also have a BIPOC price of $10 so that we're doing our part for racial justice. The other really important thing is that when you ask a question, chances are we may go really deep. We might start talking about other topics that for us are connected to your question or energetically are the main thing that allows you to get to your question. If you don't want us to talk about those other topics, you don't want us to go as deep as we're going, keeping in mind that this is recorded and this will be up online, please let us know. We're here to honor you. So any ways that you want us to narrow more of what we share in the beginning or throughout the reading, please let us know. Unmute and let us know. Wave your hands in the video, right in the chat. We're here to support you, to honor you. And one person just asked one more. Oh, yeah. People are saying all kinds of things. This is great. Oh, all right. Well, we are so excited about all kinds of different things that we're going to do tonight. And people are mentioning different things I might share about my work. And I'll share those as I answer questions I think are good. Thank you, everyone, for your support. It's a little hard sometimes holding myself and the panel all at one time. All right, great. Well, let's see. So Nadia and Eileen, and let me see if anyone else, and if you've paid to ask a question already, if you could just write me in the chat and let me know, that'll help me make sure that I get you all in line and get you in line in order. Chances are we'll be able to answer at least 8 questions. We only have 2 of you in line so far, so we totally are going to get started with you. Let's make sure Nadia is here. And then I'm gonna unpin us. Let's see, we're gonna unpin us and put us in gallery here for a moment. It's great. We've got now 44 of us. The 44th person is jumping in right now. All right, Nadia. Oh, there you are. All right, Nadia. Let's pin you. And let's put a few practitioners in here also with you. And yeah, what is your question?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to say thank you. I always have so much fun at these.
It's
so
a little muffled, just it's a little hard to hear you. If there's anything you can.
Is that a little better?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
I scooted up to the computer. So I want to say thank you. I always have a lot of fun at these and get a lot out of them. So I have an interesting situation where I have a lot of opportunity to do something new in my life, and which has never happened to me before. So I have an opportunity to move into something that I like more professionally, and also an opportunity maybe to move if I want to. And those are things I talked about like forever when I couldn't do them. And since I've gotten so much out of all these panels, I'm just kind of throwing it out there to all of the awesome folks that are here, that are always at them. I thought it would be a good opportunity to just kind of see like what anybody got. If you know, if it's when you go from having not very many choices to having a lot of choices, you think you know what you want to do, and I'm not exactly sure. So it's kind of a broad question, but anybody have any interesting ideas about what I might do now that I have more room to do different things?
Okay, great. So I'm just going to recap. So it sounds like you have an opening and you want to know what comes through for us about that opening.
Well, I have opportunity. So I was kind of working in one job and I was really tied down to this city and that job. And so now I have some freedom to do different things. I've been, in a position to where I can change. And I've told myself over and over, like, I really want to do something if I can move out of the city and I can try to explore something new professionally, I want to do that. So I kind of always knew that I wanted to do that. But now that the chance has arrived and I can do that financially and with my family, now I'm kind of like, well, do I really want to do that or do I not want to do that? Like, I don't know. So I was just going to throw it out there because since I've gotten so many awesome, cool things from these panels before.
All right, great. Thanks so much. And practitioners, if you haven't done this before, raise your hand in the chat, and that's how I know that you have an answer for Nadia. All right, we've got Jessie, Galactic Ashley, and then Jenna. So go ahead, Jessie.
Hello. So this is, since you kind of asked an open question, right, that really would apply to a lot of people, many of us more often than we expect are confronted with opportunities to make big changes in our lives, but generally we don't take them. And usually it's because of fear or limiting beliefs. So one of the most powerful tools we have is our excitement. That is a guide that lets us know where we want to start to steer and navigate ourselves. What your highest excitement of an opportunity that's in front of you is showing you your soul path. And when we start to go and navigate and things start to open up and we get these opportunities showing up more and more and they're really there, if we're going to then have to confront or have rise up out of us our limiting programs, our fears, our old traumas. It's like when we first fall in love, our insecurities come forward and we're like, do you still love me now? Do you still love me now? So that's really just confronting the old beliefs. So my advice would be for you to sit with, in one hand, the idea of seizing the opportunity. And your left hand is your action hand. It's your masculine pillar of inspired action. So I like to use my left hand as my action choice. And then your right hand is your feminine pillar of choice, of severity. I want this mug to be severe because I want to drink the inseminations of my inspired coffee. I don't want to wear it, So this is the holding something that's a more secure, more stable choice. And then see how they feel. Does your excitement steer you in one direction or another? That's how I make choices and navigate things when I'm open to both sides.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Great. Thanks, Jessie. All right. We've got Galactic, Ashley, Jenna, and then Kendara.
So a couple things. First, congratulations. Secondly, when I came back from the Peace Corps, I had basically a breakdown in the bread aisle because I went from basically one choice of bread for several years to a whole entire aisle of bread, and I became very overwhelmed. It happened another time in the granola section and the yogurt section. And reverse culture shock is real. But the point of that story is, in many ways, we within our society and culture are consistently functioning in a sea of so many decisions, like so many options. So within us, we do have the ability to choose. But what happens is that what is usually making most of the decisions for us is 97% of the decisions that we make are really done from our subconscious. So when you get to a place where you are now, you are conscious of the decisions that you want to make, and it's an opportunity for you to claim your sovereignty, which is so, so important and one of our greatest gifts in this human experience. And it is what we are able to do to basically rewrite and rewire our own DNA and start activating our DNA, is to make sovereign choices. And so to be sovereign means to, or how I define it, is that you recognize that you are self-mastered, that you are divine, and that you are sovereign. And when you claim your sovereignty, you are free to choose. So what I'm getting is free from the influence of others, right? So what I'm getting is for you not to worry about the outcome of the choice that you make, but to use your power to make a choice and to really make that choice. And whatever it is, you will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great. We've got Jenna, Kendara, Susy, and Angela. Go ahead, Jenna.
Hi there. Nice to meet you. I really liked your question, and I'm excited for your phase. I can see that Five of Swords reversed in the past, and you've been through some wounds. And so one of the things is to let go of those so that you can open yourself to integration of freeing yourself from a lack mentality that you're ready to let go of. So the ways things were in the past is different now. Don't feel attached to that at all. We're shifting out of that. One thing going on though is don't throw out the baby with the bathwater here. You have the Temperance card reversed, which to me says integrating in the right aspects of your old self and letting go of some of the mythos that didn't serve you is where you're at now. So really considering how you're in between two realms of your old self and your new self, and really like thinking about both and who you want to become and what your identity is going to be in this. The card is also saying 7 of Cups, don't get yourself all spread thin on trying to do everything. Sometimes you have a Queen of Cups reversed, and to me, she can be following her heart and skipping from one meadow to the next and not really getting to the top of the mountain. So giving yourself a little bit of playful space to explore, but when you finally make that choice, what you have here is the Chariot with the Wheel of Fortune. So something is going to come strong in your favor, but I'd say play a little bit, align with who you're becoming and what parts of yourself from your past you're taking with you. And then, am I still on? I can't tell, like the screen just changed. And then you're going to drive forward, full Chariot power ahead, let yourself just like access your strengths and just go get it. So you're not quite at the go get it moment. Let yourself be playful now. You're coming in to go get it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty certain you're going to find something to dive into.
Okay, thank you. That I kind of have been leaning towards that. Like I want to make like some, when you get a chance to dye your hair and then you want to dye it like every color of the rainbow. But there's this other part of me that's like, don't just completely go crazy here. So I appreciate that perspective. Thank you so much.
Great. Good luck.
All right, great. Next, we've got Kendara, Susy, Angela, Amanda.
Hi, Nadia.
Hello.
First thing that hit me when you started speaking was things like this don't usually happen to you, and you deserve it, and get rid of the idea it doesn't happen, because it is happening. And once you get there, then you're allowing it to happen. So I pulled an I Ching reading on you, and what it said was to analyze everything step by step and just go with what goes right. Like someone said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I was sitting there just writing like a crazy woman when they were speaking. So I hope you don't mind my reading. Don't block yourself. You are so ready for it. This is so exciting. Just go with what feels right and allow yourself to let it happen. And then what'll happen is it'll fall into place for you. But then another thing that'll really help you is think of the different scenarios and think of every single possible detail. And that way you'll think of what you would not want and what you would want. But the message for you is you are so ready for it. So just go with what feels right. And congratulations. The feeling is the job will happen and then the move will just fall into place for you.
Wonderful. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right, great. Next, we've got Susy, then Angela, then Amanda. Go ahead, Susy.
Hey, Nadia.
Hey.
So looking at you, I see a grandmother over your right shoulder, and she is just ready to push you into the edge. So she wants you to make this decision. She wants you to go and move forward in whatever way that works. This is a sort of a wake-up call for you, as Kendara said, that you said this was unexpected, but to start expecting this, to be expecting this, and you can be in that moment. As so many others have already said, it's a time to take a little time to get a perspective on it, to weigh your options, but truly you're going to find that one job, that one place that's going to really ignite your passion. That's where you want to go. But this grandmother is like, just do it. Don't sit too long. She's doing this, like, just do it. Just do it. But while you are considering the options, considering the possibilities, don't be like all of those people I know who get Consumer Reports and they have to get the absolute final issue on it, because then you're going to like lose an opportunity that could have been great. So do what you can, be happy with it, follow your passion.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, great. Thanks, Susy. All right, Angela is next. Go ahead, Angela.
So, Kendara, is that how you say your name? Or, oh, sorry, I should have, where are you? Where are you?
Kendara, right.
Yeah, okay.
Kendara is one of the practitioners. Yeah, so Nadia's the one that asked the question.
Okay, Nadia, there you are. Okay. Nadia, you have two minds, right? You have the conscious mind, you have the subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is 5% of your mental potential, your mental ability. And that's where your logic, your common sense, your reasoning is, your willpower, and your common sense and logic are saying, hold it, there's so many opportunities here. And I expected to feel a little different about this. And then there's your subconscious mind that, it's at the developmental level of a 5-year-old. It doesn't understand logic or reasoning. And sometimes we just need to create more congruency with the conscious and the subconscious mind. And there's a particular time of day where you can basically coach your subconscious mind to come more into alignment with your purposes. And I won't fill in the blank, but you just follow what comes. Just go with the very first thing that pops in when following the statement. I give myself permission to fill in the blank. And now we can know that consciously, but we've got to recruit the subconscious mind. So I invite you to consider this technique as you're falling asleep. Your mind starts to slow down, your thoughts slow down, you're easing in, getting really comfortable, and you feel like you're about to fall asleep. And you don't have to do this with exactness. It's just the idea of, I'm about to fall asleep now. You take that instruction, and it's like dropping a pebble in a pond. You just drop that in and start with inner wisdom. Inner wisdom, please help me give myself permission to. And now your subconscious mind can work on that for you all night long. Your subconscious mind is your genie in a bottle. Your subconscious mind is here to support you, and it's giving you whatever you're telling it to give you. So now that you recruit the subconscious mind, it also works as you're awakening. The doorway to the subconscious mind is still open as you're awakening. So as you awaken, again, just drop it in. Inner wisdom, help me give myself permission to, and then fill in the blank and move forward with your day. And that recruitment will take away that power struggle that you're feeling. It will help create an alignment with the two minds, and you will feel so much more congruent with what's happening and more open to all of these amazing things that have come to you. You'll be more open to accept what is coming your way.
Thank you so much, and hopefully sort out what is and isn't the right thing. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great. All right, Amanda, you were in line. Did I accidentally put your hand down? Did you want to go?
I did want to go. I didn't touch my hand.
Great. I accidentally put it down. All right, let me spotlight your runes.
All right.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay. 20 million years ago, at the beginning of people giving advice to you, the very first thing I like saw something to do with rocks and crystals and that kind of thing. So that was like just a thing. I was like, I don't know. Okay. Now, 20 years later, we're here, and I drew a wheel that was connected to what's going on with you. And let's see, first thing that I had pop into my head was, okay, so this whole coronavirus thing, shutting everything down, has made it so that like everybody is like stopped for like a while, right? So now things are starting to open up and change, and then people have opportunities to go do things, right? And you're having extra opportunities, which is really good. But then you're like, but we stopped now. Like we are like, like the world has stopped. And so I feel like when things have stopped, starting up movement again is really hard. And it's like for the world and for everybody, and not just you. So you are in this with like with everybody. I see though, like the energy here, it's for you and for like, humanity. Barkana is the rune that has to do with sanctuary and safe place. So even if you don't like where you are now, it still feels safe because you know it, right? So it's kind of like a whirlpool, and it's like an energy, and it's like hooking you back because it's comfortable, because it's familiar, right? That's totally human nature. But one of the benefits I feel like of having all these opportunities is that a lot of people are going to not take them because they're worried. So that's actually like an extra plus for you, because no matter what you pick, it's going to be great, because there's going to be like 100 other people that have opportunities like you, and they're not going to take them, right? And so like literally just pick anything, because the fact that you're choosing to do something, you're going to be great. It's going to be perfect.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Sure.
All right, great. And I want to share a little bit too. Let me get you back up here in the front by me. Maybe could you say a little bit, Nadia, so you come to the front?
Sure, I'm right over here. Can you see me?
Oh, goodness, of course. Now, I wish Zoom would put you right to the front of
Hello?
the screen. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, great. So in your eyes, more likely talents that I see, and that's part of my answer, is what they mean, are scholar and warrior and priest priestess. So scholar is about wanting to learn and understand and build deeper wisdom, knowledge, and share that. The danger with scholar is that they can think they need to learn more and learn everything, and they don't trust their own knowing. So they grow to trust their own knowing. So you want to play with some complex, rich stuff, but you don't necessarily need to go learn a bunch in order to do it. Right? It's what you already know or what you can just know in the moment. Second thing, warriors are about efficiency, effectiveness, grounding, and practicality. So you bring a grounding to people. The challenge with warrior, and then I have this one, I totally understand the lesson of this one. I have that first one too. Challenge with warrior is that they can choose the harder path, right? So you have some ease right now. So you're building capacity of your system to flow with ease, right? So looking at what are the doors that easily open. There's checking in to see if this is the door for you, but really letting yourself be supported in that way. And then warriors also can get lost in doing lots and lots of things and staying in action as opposed to focusing on the most important thing. My assistant Anissa is here right now, so she's probably going to tell me this lesson again, which I need to hear myself too. Yeah, so letting yourself, choosing what's easy and choosing, right, choosing the easy path and choosing maybe the most important thing rather than so much. And then the third thing, and this part is part of choosing the most important thing for you, I think you also have priest priestess. So that's about seeing not only what's here, seeing what's possible, and wanting to inspire and motivate people to stretch and reach for what's possible. How do you say? So you need to, it's not to get attached on the thing that you see, but really to have that sense of direction, right? And that sense of vision for you. And if you don't believe in something, you're going to have trouble continuing to put your attention and energy towards it. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you got to choose what you believe in, where you utilize knowing that you naturally have, that's rich enough in knowing and you get to contribute, and also choosing an easy path, knowing that you might actually want to do a lot, watching that it's not too many things, and letting yourself choose the easier path. So those are the things to me that are important. The other thing is warriors, sometimes they're resistant to change. So you want to watch, right? So what so warriors are really great at taking steps. So part of it, I would encourage you to walk in your space while you're exploring what you might want. Right. So it just asking this question while you're in movement, and that might support you in being able to take steps.
Fantastic. That really is super helpful. And that's sort of like reassurance for what I already knew, but something, if there's just like something telling me not to go with that, I'm like, it can't be easy. But another part of me is like, yes, choose the easier step. And another part of me is like, no, that's never going to work. So I appreciate that.
Right. And like, so your scholar might say, I don't know it. So why would that be true? And your priestess is like, no, we got to go for the big thing. Or like, I got to trust myself. And the warrior's like, I want to be grounded. I want it to be practical. Right. Yeah. So to some extent, you'd have part of you that are competing. You do have the fortune of that warrior's about body, priestess is about emotions, and scholars about intellect. So you have an interesting balance of all of them. Lots of people don't have a balance like that.
Wonderful. I appreciate that so much. Awesome.
Great. All right. We're going back to the screen again. Practitioners, anything else jump up for you that you wanted to briefly share with Nadia before we go on? All right, great. Nadia, thank you so much for helping us get started and jumping right in. It's really lovely. And let's see, so a few of you have arrived, and I wanted to clarify too, I didn't fully say before, if an intuition does come through for you, you might want to write it down, and then after we finished answering someone's questions, you might want to private chat them and ask them if they'd like to hear what came through for you, and please honor whatever they share. It may be that they're full after they hear all the answers from us and they don't want any more, and then trust that the answer came through for you in some way. Trust it came through you for some reason. All right, great. Let's see. We have 2 more people in line. We've got Eileen and Dee, and see if there's anyone else that's paid to ask a question. And I don't have you in line yet. Please let me know, and I would go looking for where you paid. You can tell me where you're paid to and make it easier for me. All right, great. All right. Well, Eileen is next, and I'm going to pin Eileen and pin some other, yes, and pin some other practitioners as well. All right, Eileen, go ahead.
Hi, it's great to be here. This is my first time, and yeah, I just so appreciate the generosity of all the folks on the panel. Yeah, so I felt excited about this opportunity, so I kind of jumped in it, but I didn't quite have total clarity on my question, so I'll just see what kind of comes up. But it's very similar to Nadia's question, is that I feel like I'm also a bit at a crossroads, or the job I've been at is really taxing, and it feels about time to head out. And I could start my own private practice in craniosacral bodywork, but I also feel hesitant because I'm not quite sure this is where I want to be. And so if I'm going to be working for myself, I need to be a little bit more certain, especially if it's touch work and in person. So I often have like this fantasy about the desert or moving to Santa Fe, or but it also, I don't have all that much community there, and it would be a big restart. But that kind of landscape really calls to me. And because I've been in Colorado for so long, it just feels like time to change it up and experience something new. I feel like I've gotten what I've been needing to get from Colorado, and it just feels like that time. But I'm also love trees and like more lushness too. And so anyway, I'm just kind of playing with that question and curious what kind of insights might come up for you all in that. So thanks.
Great. Thanks, Eileen, for your question. That's great. All right. And we've got Jenna in line. Jenna, go ahead and get started.
Hi there. Thanks for asking. And I love that we have such positive questions so far. We welcome all kinds, but it's still nice. So first of all, the move, I really got a lot of good vibes on that. There's the limiting beliefs you have around, this is the 10 of Swords, limiting beliefs you have. If you kind of get out of your own way a little bit, you have the Devil card reversed, and let go of some of the attachments that you have, then you're going to have a really fresh mind around that move. And I'm feeling a good vibe on the move. I also got the 6 of Pentacles, which to me is a give and take. So I'm thinking you could consider going out there on like a nonprofit level, or something where you might find community in nonprofits, or you might find people who are willing to do some level of trade with you for rent at first, or something that's not rent, but something else. There's some sort of thing where there's a give and take of flow for you. And also, I just feel like you have the 5 of Cups reversed, which to me is like getting past some emotional blocks in your life and being able to just feel like you can breathe again in a nice way. So really loving that idea. On the career itself, you have the Starr card reversed with the 9 of Swords with the Emperor. So I'm just going to say that this feels to me like right now, there's something more. I want you to open yourself to some bigger dreaming and let yourself be a little bit more. I don't think it's quite time to leave your job immediately, because there's something more you want to design in your dream of where you want to go next. And the worrying is kind of blocking you from your intuition. So the Emperor card is one about making really legitimate decisions from a very grounded place, and it's about considering all aspects simultaneously, almost like a good healthy politician, if that exists. So also, you know, you have the Death card reversed. I feel like you're coming into a transformation. You either not quite there yet, or you're kind of resisting it. So letting yourself see, who do I want to become, how do I want to change, and letting yourself flow into that more fluidly. Yeah, I'm feeling good things for you, and I feel like it's just there's some mild adjustments to your navigation. Like, you know, you change your trajectory 2 degrees and you're going to be like, boom, I got it. So just let yourself be open to that.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Great, thanks, Jenna. All right, we've got Susy, Jessie, and Amanda in line. Go, Susy.
Hey, Eileen. So as you were talking, and I'm writing, I kind of forgot. I didn't pay attention. You were talking about Santa Fe? Okay, so I'll go back to the top of my notes. like like Jenna, I got that there is movement to happen for you. Okay, and it's important for you to find the joy in what it is you want to do. Do you really enjoy the cranial sacral? And I think that's a good place for you to be. Stepping, but as you make this movement, as you make this change, stepping into your own power, because you are calling your own shots. Galactic Ashley talks about sovereignty and reclaiming and claiming your power. This is your opportunity to do it. And honestly, I think being in a new environment is a great place to do it. But you got to breathe into it, reflect. I agree with Jenna that it's not quite the time yet. And then the question about Santa Fe came up when I thought, what about Taos? Taos is a nice place. It's got a good arts community, and they're open, and I feel you have a very deep soul connection with the land, wherever it is in New Mexico. And so it's going to happen. I think it's good, but there's no real pressure for you to get it done now. So this is your opportunity to explore how you really feel about it. Breathe into it, do a little reflection, and it'll happen. Divine timing. It's not always what human timing wants to be, but divine's got a big plan for you. And I feel like it is going to be down in the Southwest. So well done. Thanks for recognizing that.
Thank you.
All right, Jessie, and then Amanda.
So I pulled 3 cards for you just to kind of get a scope of what it's entailing. And everything I heard so far between like Jenna and Susy, I got big old yeses and pings. I also agree. I do think New Mexico is a strong place. I just recently was hearing about some places in Arizona as well. And I'm not talking about Sedona, but there's some other new communities that are starting to pop up in southern Arizona and eastern Arizona. somewhere in that region is definitely it. But when we are wanting to manifest a new future, as I believe it was Angela was talking about, that subconscious, it's running all the time. Your conscious mind is really only programming, as she said, 5%. Hear like between, 5 and 8%, depending on how aware you're trying to be, but it's not much. It's not much. It's our subconscious that's doing it. And it is about, as I believe Susy just said, it's the universe is giving us what we need. It's not giving us what we want. It's giving us what we need for the next step. We're not supposed to see the whole way down the road. We're supposed to be able to just navigate using this intuition when we let go of the idea of being in control. And I feel really strongly that you're in that surrendering place of learning to surrender to your flow, to your intuition, and navigate it. And when we enter into a service-based path of work, especially when we want to develop our own practice, our practice begins to show up before us. The clients show up that teach us, they're showing us and reflecting for us. So I think as you just make that intention, you're going to start having opportunities show up to help you narrow that and focus that in. And the other piece too, as I believe it was Angela was talking about, the permission, that is so huge. We aren't even aware of what we don't give ourselves permission to dream of and imagine ourselves to be and do. And a just short example of that is, I always wanted to sing. Like as a child, I basically was a walking musical. I was my own accompaniment to my life, singing songs about what was going on. And people would usually ask me to stop because I was doing it so much. And because that happened, my whole throat got shut down and I actually stopped singing. And I believed it was because I wasn't good at it. And it wasn't until I went on a cruise with some friends and the grandmother who forced us to take a ukulele class where we had to sing and play on stage, or a cruise ship of 800 people, that it broke something in me. And I came home and I started playing for myself and my family guitar and singing. Well, now I'm training to be an opera singer, and I'm working on recording my first demo album, and I'm a singer-songwriter, and it's a huge part of my life and passion. So give yourself permission. Ask yourself, if I'm in a place where I want to build a dream life, what is my dream? and then allow the creation to start shaping it, because you have to have a need first. And your need is to create the path for your dream.
Well, appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, great. Let's see. I gotta go get, oh yeah, so I'm gonna spotlight the rune wheel for you. Amanda is next. All right, go Amanda.
I'm going to start by saying this is one of those ones that's going to come together for me at 5 a.m. I know. So if you want to leave your information some way, I literally know it's not going to come out in all its glory at this moment. Okay. I saw a rainbow of opportunity going from the top of the rune wheel down to the bottom, and in the bottom, and I drew the rainbow before I put the runes in, and then the runes fell, and they're going right through the rune of Perthro, which means unknown. So I feel like you actually don't, not just unknown, but like out of your realm of being possible to know. So I feel like what you're going to end up doing, you've actually maybe even never heard of yet. Like it's not even in your realm of like you don't even know it's a thing, right? So let's see. I feel it. Is it possible? Wait, where did you go? Wait, where's the person?
I'm right here.
Hold on. Let me put in your guy.
I know, I'm spotlighting you. You can't
There
see
you
it.
are.
here,
There you are.
yes, it's
Okay,
tricky.
hi. Okay, that's better. Now we're really talking. Okay, good. Okay, wait. Outside of your realm of what you know yet. Oh, is it possible for you to move while you're still working in some capacity? Like, can you bring your work with you ish?
Ish, in a certain radius. Yeah. Within maybe 5-hour drive, I'd say.
Okay, so I feel like it might be good. Like, I don't think you're gonna be able to decide what you're doing where you are now. Like, you need to change your scenery. So you don't need to try to figure it out anymore, because I don't think you're gonna be able to figure it out, like where you are, right? So I feel like if you, oh my gosh, hi dog. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, wait. I drew mountains too. And so if you stayed with mountains, I guess you'd still be where you are. So I feel like you will end up somewhere warmer, like at some point. But like right now, I feel like changing where you're living, getting out of your living situation, getting somewhere totally new is going to help you like get more in tune with your intuition and like just know what to do next. And also like meeting new people from where you move to is going to broaden, like, because when you meet new people, you get new ideas about things that you never heard of before. So I think it's important for you to like just meet a new group.
Hey, Amanda, I've not done this before, but I'm just noticing a feature of this that I've not seen in yours before. The vertical and the horizontal bars here. What's that? So I saw this as a wooden, like, the back of a chair. It's like an old school chair, kind of like, can you see that? Like that kind of chair, but it's the kind where like it goes in and out and in and out. Does that make sense? Can you see this chair?
Oh,
we can't. Do you just mean that it's turned? It's been turned and it has
like it's this kind of wood, right? But it's the kind of wood where like it's old school and it's like, well, it looks like this. I'm not gonna shut up. Susie's laughing at me. I can see her. It's like, wait, let me draw it better. I get it. It's turned and it's got the different shapes and things. There's probably a fancy word for this. There. Can you see that? Yeah, we can see it. That kind of wood. So that's what this is made out of, the vertical line. It's wood. It goes from Odin rune down through, I don't even figure out what this is yet. And Odin is also connected with father. So I felt like there is some kind of father energy with you. So it could be from the males on your side of the family, like coming down the bloodline, or from your actual dad, either way, from like the male part of your lineage that has to do with, now this is wood. So this could be having to do with structure. It could be having to do with like the need to build something. It could be having to do with not wanting things to change, to liking things to stay the same. Okay. So it could be any of those things, like with that. But then here I have a horizontal line, and this is actually like a thorn. And I also, when I was drawing this, I also saw it as like a skyline. So it was like first I was like, it's kind of like a skyline, but then it's like the upside down of a skyline. And then it's also a thorn. So yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you, 5 a.m. I swear to God, it's going to be one of those like, I know where that is.
Hi, Amanda, since you didn't see the chat.
What? Oh, I'm not. Yeah.
I was just saying hi. It's Marilyn because you don't read the chat.
Oh, got it. Hi. Okay.
Yeah, and
do you have questions about the drawing or?
Do I have questions about it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does. Like, I get the impression things are going like more south as well, but yeah, I like that there are also mountains included. Yeah, and it's funny that you say something that I'm not aware of yet. I've had that thought for actually, that's come to me a lot of like, I don't yet know what it is that I'll be doing. I'm not even aware of it. And I've just had that it will like arrive at some point, but it's interesting that you said that. But yeah, I don't know that I have any specific questions about it right now. It also looks like, I don't know if that's sun or mountains like surrounding it, but maybe it is all.
When I first drew it, I was looking at you and I drew it at first. It felt like a sun, but then it turned into like almost like dragon, and it was like one of those like snail, like Ouroboros snail eating the snail head things. But then as it kept going, it turned into mountains. It morphed.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
there are mountains
first, so yes, it was.
There are mountains and foothills in the Southwest. They're just smaller than the ones in Colorado. They are mountains.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
All right, so let's get some of us pinned up here again. And we've got Galactic Ashley and then Jessie and then Kendara. And I know I want to say a little bit too. So let me get Galactic Ashley in here next. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Eileen.
Hi.
So what I think is there's multiple things that are interesting about your question, but the first one is I feel like there's so many people that are coming to me telling me that they want to move to Santa Fe. So I just find that fascinating in general. And some people have done it. One person just got in his car and his guides were like, go there. And he now lives in this Earth ship that just sort of appeared. I mean, it didn't just appear, but like a sign showed up and then he didn't even have to look for a place. And an old musician used to live there and he's a musician and it just worked out. So I definitely have a really good feeling about Santa Fe, just like the others said. I also used to live in Tucson. I know those are not the same places, but there are tons and tons of outdoor activities. And I used to go trail running. There's lots and lots of mountains. They are different kinds of mountains. But each time I moved, and I've been blessed to live in multiple places in the world, I am always reminded to look for what I'm seeing rather than what I'm missing. So anytime you do go to a new place, I get that you can be missing other places, but to really focus on what is really being shown to you, because that deserves our attention, because we might not even see it if we're looking for Colorado mountains, for example. Okay, so besides that, one of the things that I do is I tend to attract a lot of people who are here to bring through things that don't exist. So this kind of goes in alignment with what Amanda said. So this would be like, a lot of times we think we're blocked or we can't see the future, and it's because you are being asked to be the person to make something that doesn't exist because it's needed. And right now, especially because everything is being well, not really. We'll pretend it's being consciously deconstructed around us, but it's falling to pieces around us. But what that means is these old systems are no longer functioning. And so we're needing healers and people that are going to be birthing these new ways of not only being, but of healing. And this is, I'm making a comment, but it is a very neutral comment about COVID and the vaccine. So through that, we are going to need to birth ways to heal, both people that have taken it and both people that have not taken it. And we're going to be needing to work with energy patterns within our body to restore our physical structures to a natural state, but a natural state that is shifting. So I guess it feels like what is being asked of you is, you said that you do cranial sacral therapy, is to think about how you might be able to do that through distance, right? And I don't actually know that much about it, but I do know that we have crystals that are actually in our brains. And what if you were able to activate those crystals at the same point on somebody's head, so you don't actually need to be physically present with them? So if you were able to look at this as an opportunity of which to expand and grow yourself, not only as a business person, But as someone who's going to bring online a new system of healing that is both a combination of a cranial sacral therapy and a part of your multi-dimensional connections of who you are in other places, there is a really big and great opportunity for you. There's also a lot of vortexes and energy centers that are currently coming online, being activated all over, but especially in the Southwest. So to me, that feels a lot of the reasons why some people are being really drawn there, and there are people that are there that are really working with them. And so it's really fascinating. Gaia's really, really shifting right now and bringing on a lot of like these very activating grids, and they're all connected to the body. So I feel like if you're in a place like that, it will really help inform your work, because you're going to need to be ahead of where we're going.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, great. Then Jessie, it's something else that you wanted to share, I think, and then Kendara. Go ahead, Jessie.
Thanks for letting me come back in again, Lorelei. I really wanted to, I'm so glad that Galactic Ashley said all of that, because, you know, it is definitely for you, you're here to be an innovator. One of the cards that came up was the 5 of Pentacles. And how I read that, it's usually about feeling cast out of something that's been built and now on the outside. But really, that's because those people aren't meant to be church goers. They're church builders. They're here to build something. So like when I came into doing this work, there was nobody doing or talking about what I was doing, trying to integrate all these different ways and pieces and aspects. I literally had to build the program. And over the last like 6 years that I've been teaching it, I have met people who have been teaching programs that are like it. And I can see now, oh, this was the pieces that I brought to integrate in. And all of it was through channeled access, because I was showing up and meeting the needs of the clients that were coming to me and myself. So one of the things that I teach is there is nowhere you can go to get a PhD in Eileen. It doesn't exist. You have to give it to yourself and recognize that you're an autodidactic creator being here, building and creating. And if you don't give yourself permission, nobody else is going to. And I just wanted to echo that, because I think I can feel that in you so strongly, that you're here and you have all these ideas and you look at things differently, and you kind of think of it as a weakness, but that is your superpower. It is your superpower.
Oh, thank you.
All right, great. And then we've got Kendara. Go ahead, Kendara.
Hi, Eileen. It was really interesting because I put my hand up and then I messaged Laurel. I go, Lorelei, I don't really have enough to say right now, so take me off. But then as I sat here listening more, I got a bunch of things for you. Go with what feels right, even though it seems simple. I also got that work where you are, and like Ashley, I said, take as much as you can remotely. I also got very strongly, you're going to have a huge connection with kids. There's something you're going to be doing that's going to be working with kids, and you've got a gift for that. And it's a lot of it due to the way you were brought up. I don't know if it's inner child in people or kids. Also, about 1.5 years ago, you got some gestalt. I don't know if you were on vacation or you were someplace, but it would have been about 1.5 years ago. And you got a really definite direction on what you wanted to do. And I'm being told to tell you to go with it. Crystal skulls. I know nothing about crystal skulls whatsoever, but I'm being told to tell you to work with them. And then I did an I Ching drawing on you because I love the I Ching. And the first thing that I got was smallness and success. So stay where you are and just go very, very slowly. Just continue as you are. You're absolutely going to get there. Do as much preparation as you can now, and the way will be let open for you. And although New Mexico is absolutely awesome, I also get Arizona and maybe Phoenix. So many blessings, and thanks for coming.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Yeah.
Of course.
Great, it's great. I'll add a little bit more. So I love how many times people have talked about distance work. Right. And so, right, you have the artisan talent, and artisan is sensitive to energy. Totally makes sense. You want to work with energy. Artisans love to travel. So it makes sense that you need, artisans want change. So it makes sense you want change. I also wonder if you're not going to fully settle in one spot, that there's some way you're going to be able to move around. right? And so that's why you talked about like building a practice, right? So being able to do some of it online and right gives you an opportunity to move around. I know also, right, you work with people on a deeper, more psychological level too, as well as energetic and physical in that way. So I just think there's and I like that someone mentioned maybe that you're creating something that doesn't exist already, right? Artisans are inventors. It totally makes sense that you'd be doing that too. And just mention so artisan and priestess, right? So great for working with people intuitively, with energy and with more of the psychology and all that. So totally great. And I said maybe that I just, some ways, like giving yourself experiences of different places and finding out what your energy is like. It may be that you travel now, or you're looking at images of places, or imagining being in places, or, so letting yourself like go fantasize of different places. And yeah, it might not be just one spot. And I love what someone shared in the beginning too, of maybe that you, right, need to be moving around from where you are before, right, what it will be emerges and all that. Yeah, seems great. You also do seem like you're someone that can be really lucky when you know you're worthy to have the luck that's there. You'll have great openings of things that show up for you.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So sweet. This is such a gift. I really appreciate this time. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much for jumping in and asking a question. It's really great and fun for us to be able to share and support you. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We have Dee in line next. So let's go get Dee up to the front here.
Hello.
Oh, all right. Great.
I am, this is kind of a bit of a multi-part question, so feel free to answer whatever parts come to you. So I lived in the, Portland area for a while, and I had to suddenly move to Arizona a year ago when my father died. So both my parents have passed now, and I'm at their house kind of like tying up loose ends, and it's taking a while, but I recognize where I'm at in my life is a place of big transition. I just became an adult orphan. It's like a new level of adulthood. So I see like I'm at a time of endings right now, wrapping up an entire cycle of my life where I'm at. So I wonder a few things. I do like the Pacific Northwest, but the fires there frighten me. I thought I'd always love to live in the forest where it's cooler and there's lots of trees and moisture and like that. But I am frightened about the fires that are there. And I want to find my soul family and soulmate, and I just always imagine I'd live in the forest. So I'm wondering about the next step in my evolution, where I'm at right now, and what is happening, because I'm feeling like I'm going through some big changes inside of myself and on the outside, and just wondering what my next step is in my evolution and how to get there, and also in the broader, within the context also of the broader soul purpose, what my gifts are. I worked with children as a substitute teacher, but I feel like I'm meant to bring in something much bigger, something very big in my soul purpose. And I'm wondering if you guys have any insights into that broader soul purpose that I came to do. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with work with children and families and teachers in some way that, like Galactic actually says, is hasn't been brought in yet. So yeah, thank you.
All right, great. Thanks for asking the question. Let's see, practitioners, who's ready? Oh, Angela is ready. All right, Angela, go ahead.
You ever had a conversation with those people that you're imagining working with in the future? Sometimes, we talk to people who are right here around us, and we think of that projected audience, that projected circle of influence, those people who we know are coming into our lives. And something that I recommend is talking to them. Just imagine just dropping your mind into your heart, just allowing that to just sink in, and thinking of the center of your heart. And if you need to place your hand over your heart and imagine, you don't have to know what they look like, but you have a sense of them. You can feel them, and they're there in your future. And so by thinking of the center of your heart and just repeat a word for them, whatever that name is, something, some way of addressing them, and repeat that 3 times. And then share your thoughts and feelings with them and let them know, I know I'm going to meet you. I know that we're connecting, and let them know, just share your thoughts and feelings, and then be still and see what comes. They will share things with you. You'll be able to sense. You can get direction from the very people you will be serving. They will let you know. This is such a beautiful practice, and I recommend that you do it maybe once a day for the next few days, and just watch and see what happens. Just be like a child. Curiosity is one of our, it's such a wonderful place to be. Just be curious and just allow your imagination to go with this. Your imagination is one of the most amazing gifts you have. It is so powerful. And unfortunately, we often use this amazing gift to worry and to focus on that which is not, or that which we absolutely don't want. And so when we harness that imagination and really give it some direction like this, it can help things start to calibrate, just kind of fall in place for you. And you'll feel even more in the flow and more in alignment with your higher power, if you have one, with yourself, with your amazing innate wisdom. It will start to flow even more freely. It will create a freedom and a flow that will put you in a place where you're more open to receive and hear what you already have within you. It's already there. It's just a matter of accessing it. So that's just something to play with, not just, it's super powerful. That one thing can change our lives hugely. And so if you choose to play with it, I think that you'll have some fun with that. I wish you well.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm at a place where I'm crafting my future, and I want to craft it really well. Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. We've got Galactic Ashley next.
Okay. So we are the Yeti Council of Light. You can think of us as the Yeti Collective. We are also here with our Bigfoot brethren, and we are here because you are connected to both the Bigfoot and the Yeti beings, and that they are here at this time present to bring you a heart activation. We ask for you to take this time as you are bringing closure to your human parentage, to remember that you are connected and have many families, multi-dimensional families that are present and are with you, and that you are never ever a cosmic orphan. So we ask for you to remember this and to refrain when possible, after you have done the appropriate healing, to refer to yourself as an orphan, because this perpetuates an experience of separation. And as you know, separation is an illusion, but this is what leads many to experience fear. We see you very much living in the forest, and we ask for you to take some time to look at the fear that you are experiencing having to do with wildfires. And we hope that maybe our friend Susy will help locate a past life for you, because we feel that you have experienced fires in other lifetimes, multiples of them. So we are here to say that this fire fear is not false, but that if you are to look at your fear and not let your fear dictate your choices, we see that your desires and your soul gifts will become abundant and to begin to show their presence in your life, but to take one step at a time and to make sure that this fear does not slow down your progress in your healing and in bringing closure to what you are seeking, an honorable closure with your parents. And we see this more as a jumping off point and a rebirth. And so if you can see it that way, we see many things coming for you, and that if you wish to meditate with us, we are present for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we love you, we love you, we love you.
Thank you so much for bringing that message forth.
Thanks, Galactic Ashley. All
I
right.
should say that the forest fires in the Pacific Northwest are a very real thing, as well as those who live there can testify.
Yeah, it's great. I'm going to share a little bit, and then we've got Jessie and Kendara. So I know we saw you briefly earlier, and I've seen your eyes before. So for me, one of your talents is all about love and intimacy. People that have this talent often are very good with kids. So I love that you mentioned kids and families. And the big lesson with being of service with this talent is to be loving of yourself. And I think that it's really important for you to take the love that when you see children and you see the purity and the innocence of children, that you keep bringing that energy and that love back to you so that you really know that love of you. That's how you're going to be the most of service to families and to children. Right? So it's about the flow and the field of love. And you so have to know you're loving you and taking actions that are loving of you and caring of you. So you feel so full of love of yourself. And I think that you're a huge radiating beam of love for others and teaching others to love life, to love how it is, to love what happens, right? To play in that field of love.
Thank you so much, Laurel.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if you were done. I
No,
thought
it's
you were.
great. Yeah. So it seems like you're on your path, and continuing to do that, so loving you, is how you'll be able to be on the path of your purpose that much more strongly. All right, we've got Jessie, Kendara, Susy, and Jenna. Go ahead, Kendara. Or wait, Jessie first. Never mind. Jessie first. Sorry. Jessie first.
Me first. Okay, so I just want to I was making notes while everybody else was sharing. One of the things that really popped out, the orphan thing. You know, for myself, my parents are living, but for a long part of my life, most of my adult life, they weren't a part of my life. It wasn't healthy or safe for them to be a part of my life. I didn't know how to be an independent, autonomous being and not fall into the patterns and expectations and roles that I was programmed in childhood to play with them. And they didn't know how to do differently. So I had to heal out of those and find my way out of that. And I spent a lot of time feeling like I was an orphan and a lot of time crying with God, like, why? And one of the things that God said to me when I was crying about this was, you didn't come to be a child of man. You came to be a child of God among men. And you needed to understand the wounds that man is holding and how God has forgot itself in the hearts of all of these men and women. And so I birth in these dark places, and so we can be the light that is shining there and shining the awareness. So when we feel that lack of connection, it's time to call in that divine mother and father for ourselves. That can really help hold it. I want to echo what Laureli mentioned, and I'm getting a huge big old echo in my ear again, about whenever we're called to work in service, whether it's with children or with adults, we're called to that service because we need it. We're called to that service because we need to put ourselves in that vibrational state for ourselves. And because we also are in a more aware state and we're doing it consciously, we're bringing all the rest of our awareness with it. So the person who's coming to get service maybe is triggered and they're in whatever the wound we're healing or working with them in state. But we get to be in that wounded state and hold our whole awareness because we're doing it for them. And oftentimes people who are service to others oriented won't do that service for themselves. So we put ourselves in positions where we have to serve. And it's kind of like a God's carrot that leads us into getting in the vibration of self-love, self-acceptance, because we're teaching it, we're speaking it, we're living it, we're breathing it. I know that's my truth. And the last thing I wanted to share was I kept seeing in my mind's eye, I kept seeing a character and like children's books and stories involving a forest. I don't know if you're a writer or an artist or illustrator, but the what I'm seeing is, like, I've been working on a children's book series about teaching about a little boy who's exploring a big tree. And he gets to learn about himself as he reaches these different branches of awareness, learning about our neurodevelopment, cognitive development, and our spiritual development. So God told me when I was looking for my own purpose, he asked me, well, where do you see a problem? And have you an idea for the solution? Okay, now go do it. So that's what I have to share.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jessie.
so much.
Thanks, Dee. All right, let's see. We've got Kendara, Susy, Jenna, Marian, and Amanda. So Kendara, you're next.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Dee. The first thing that came to mind is something that I've noticed a lot of the practitioners here were saying, and it's a lot of you being at your parents right now and the experiences that you've had before. And so what I'm picking up for you is this is a healing for you because you're a teacher. That's what your mission is. You are a teacher and you're going to help people heal the child within. And so you being at your parents' house right now is almost a healing experience. It's a catharsis in some way. It's releasing and having experiences and having gestalt. So when you go to sleep at night, ask your guides, ask your higher self, what do you need to know which can help you integrate the next step? I also get sister around you. I don't know if you have a sister or if you don't, but I just keep getting the word sister. So I've learned to just give people what I'm getting. I get Seattle for you or Portland. I don't know where you are right now, but I get that those are really good places for you. I'm being told to tell you that you will heal by example, by integrating your past experiences from about age 9 to 12 and 16. Different things like that will come forth, and you'll be able to help people do that. I don't know if you work with pendulums, but I'm being told that that's a really good way to tune in to aspects of yourself. I get that in about 1.5 years, you'll really be on your path. Not that you're not now, but you will be. And then I got this wonderful exercise, which I love to share with people, and I think I'm going to share it with you. You create a cobalt blue room in your head because cobalt blue is the color of the throat chakra. And you invite anybody you've got issues with, dead or alive, to come into the room one at a time, and you tell them what you need. And then you let them tell you what they need. And then you tell them how you feel, and you let them tell you how they feel. And then you make an agreement and you shake hands and you leave. And it's an incredible, almost cathartic way of resonating and connecting. But you are right where you need to be. You're also a writer. You're going to be writing about your experiences. So I hope that gives you something to take with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, real quick, Kendara, I didn't understand the age 9, 12, 16 thing. I didn't understand what you were saying.
You did or you did not?
I did not.
Oh, okay. What I was saying is some experiences happened about that age, which you integrated and which made you in some ways question things, and you kind of put it away. I don't know what it was, but I'm getting that it was school related. And a lot of times I'll get ages for people and I don't really know what they are, but I guess that would be about 2nd grade and about 4th grade. So I'm not sure, to be honest, but I did get those ages as being very significant for you. So
thank you.
You're very welcome.
You're correct, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Kendara. We've got Susy, Jenna, Marian, and Amanda. Go ahead, Susy.
Hey, thank you to the Yeti Collection for kicking me into gear over that. I did get several hits on past lives. You know, time is one great big timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly ball. And so what we're doing is pulling out different aspects of time. And I got that there were lives in Australia in which you were actually caught in a wildfire. And wildfires are a true and an actual, I understand we've gone through a couple of very smoky summers up here. So I can understand that there's a fear about that. And one is related to, feels like I'm getting 1800s. in Australia in which you were caught in one. There was also a lifetime in India in which they were still you were the wife of a prominent man, and that was the tradition, is that when the husband died, the wife threw herself on the pyre, and you didn't want to, and you were forced to. Also some witchy kind of lives in which you were falsely accused. I've had those where I was accused because, well, they were right, but these were falsely accused, so that had added an even more of a soul impact on you. Also, there was, I think it was at the time of Queen Elizabeth, she was Protestant and they were clearing out Catholics, if I understand my British history right. And so you were caught up in that too. As personalities, understands this isn't you in the now, but these are aspects of your personality, of your soul. And I call them personalities to maintain that separation. And so I can understand how there is a deep ingrained fear. So these lifetimes can come forward and they're ready to be released. So as you look to them, forgiveness for me is reclaiming my energy from another person and giving that energy that is theirs, that is not mine, that is not resonant, back to them. And this is a process you can do in this cobalt room, this beautiful cobalt blue room that Kendara mentioned. As you're talking to your parents, you can bring up these personalities and say, thanks for living that life. I really don't need that. And part of our life purpose, I feel, is to face these fears. I have faced fears too that really took me to dark places. And now that I'm out of it, I'm on the other side of it, it doesn't scare me. And I feel more complete and far more whole than I did before I looked at these fears. And a reminder that every place has that thing to be afraid of. But part, I feel, of what your journey is to look at these fears and tell them to take a flying leap, that you are stronger than those fears are, and that you will get through this. And I feel that Cobalt Room is going to be crucial to that healing that you're able to do. And I also agree that there is a past life, past child, an inner child, get your language, an inner child event that happened. So I also agree with Kendara and say, look at that 9 to 12-year-old thing that happened in school and see what you can do. Again, doing that exchange of energy, demanding yours back and throwing that other person's energy back to them. And that will get you started, at least get you a little more calibrated to what you need to do. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Susy.
All right, we've got Jenna and Marian in line. Go ahead, Jenna.
Hi there. So yeah, I also seen a lot of healing things coming up for you. First of all, I pulled the I Ching, I pulled Tarot, and I just was not driving. So I got out my I Ching cards from the Tao Oracle deck. The first one is about boundaries. And this card is asking you to really consider where your boundaries are and where they have been pushed in this life or previous. And where we know that is to catch it when it comes up in us intuitively, to notice you're feeling like an aggression towards someone, or you're feeling a sense of powerlessness and anger comes up. Where are your boundaries? So whenever anger comes up, just checking in and being like, what boundaries being crossed and how can I set new boundaries with this person or the situation? Second is that you have this thing about you go into cycles of depression or of just hopelessness, feelings where you're just lost at sea and you're all alone in things. And I think that the cards are asking you to be acknowledging of when that feeling comes through right now. This has been an experience for a lot of people during COVID, where we've been isolated and we can become trapped in our own cycles of seeing our difficulties. My friend's texting me, sorry, of seeing our difficulties as, sorry, let me just get, I can feel it's gonna keep coming. As a frustration that feels like you get stuck in a swamp feeling. The cards are asking you to really use these moments of boundary crossings and feelings of frustration, feelings of anger, to pause and take in a healing moment, to really acknowledge how you can self-care from those moments. And everyone tonight has been speaking so wisely towards healing, and that just seems to be what the cards want you to know tonight, what is up right now. The interesting thing is, because we were talking about fire, I really love that this last card, which is also about healing, has a burned forest in the image. And so maybe transmuting your symbolism around the fires, which, I mean, hey, I'm afraid of those too on a real level in Oregon. That's a thing. But I'm also seeing that this is work on what has been spoiled, which is a metaphor for the, if you've ever gotten a chance, maybe this summer, go out and see the forest rejuvenating. And it is amazing to see a forest rebirthing after a fire. I would like you to go this summer to a forest and witness that and take it in as your own rebirthing, as your own transformational growth. So yeah, I mean, I really think you're going through a unique shift, and you have a great opportunity right now to take, even if it feels like it's not an opportunity in this way, it's definitely an opportunity. And finally, I just have to say that I have to go early tonight, and I really enjoyed spending this evening with you all. My name is Jenna, and I'm from Present Path Tarot, and I also do intuition coaching. I am teaching a class this Sunday in the art of tarot reading. I've been reading since I was 15 years old and reading professionally since 2008. I've been teaching since 2010. I love sharing this art with people, and I believe we all have access to this empowering system, this empowering tool of divination. So I hope you're going to come and join me. We do a lot of right brain work and left brain work. Tonight, you get 10% off with MeWe 21. That will work through the weekend. You got to sign up by 4 p.m. Sunday. The class is getting filled out. I really hope you can make it. And yeah, just access this tool for yourself. I just want to say that this divination that we're doing up here, it seems like a lot of us feel like we don't have access to it. That is a myth of our society. Everyone can tap into these gifts, and I hope you will gift yourself that empowerment. And my class is a really down-to-earth way to do it. So go to presentpathtarot.com. Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jenna,
Thank you, Jenna.
for being here with us. All right. Let's see. And Marian, you're the next one to answer D. Go ahead.
Hi, Dee. This afternoon, I was hearing an instrumental of a song that had been used as a way of giving love to someone else. And the image that came to me was standing in front of the mirror, looking into your own eyes and singing this song to yourself every time you feel like you're not enough or you're starting to get depressed about your situation. And it's very simple. It goes like this. My heart is filled with love for you. 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 And take that into your heart and just know you love yourself. And that's what came from me.
Thank you.
All right, great. Anyone have any other last bits for D?
I just want to say really quickly, I loved that. Thank you so much. That was really beautiful. And just the vibrational toning was beautiful as well. And I was playing with the deck. It's a Kabbalistic Angelics, and it was the Angel of Song that came forward, just popped out while you were singing. So I just wanted to, again, just thank you for delivering that beautiful song.
Yeah, Marian, that was really beautiful. Yeah, the energy healing through your voice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dee, for jumping in and asking a question, giving us an opportunity to.
Great. Thank you. I really appreciate everybody's responses. So rich and helpful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's see. So we've got Bethany in here next. Let's go find Bethany and bring you to the front. Where are you? Aha, here you are. Okay, great. All right,
Hello.
Bethany.
I guess my question is I guess so a year and a half ago, I moved out to where I'm living now for a job, and went through a lot of growth in that process. It was pretty painful for quite a while. And but I feel like I've pulled through it, and the goal was always to move back home afterwards. And I'm kind of wondering like when a good time would be, and also I also have this other thing that I keep feeling drawn towards, which is volunteering with like in other countries, I guess. Like I'm a nurse and just like kind of feel called to doing something around that. But also maybe it's just my desire to travel, but I also enjoy helping people. Just like a little direction around some things, because I keep feeling like I keep getting stuck or stopped and not knowing what how to move through. So I don't know, or whatever comes through.
Great. All right, I'm going to share first before others jump in. So someone asked in the beginning if I could say more about body psychology. So body psychology is when we pay attention to the signals that our body gives us, so we can listen to hear what it means and respond to it. And then also body psychology is when there are ways we can utilize our body to shift and move forward. So I noticed I already had some intuitions coming in. And then when I looked at you, Bethany, I noticed that you were right here, you kept touching your throat. And the things that appeared to me when you were sharing, the first thing that was really strong was when you said that you were thinking that when you were done, I don't remember if you said done, but that the goal was that you would, the goal was to move back home. And I just felt a strong no. And I just like, okay, is that true? I felt that. And then when you said that maybe you were wondering about traveling, I was like, oh, this feels so much better. You're not necessarily someone that so is drawn to travel, but for you, traveling and going to other places seems really important to me. And then that you're touching your throat, I noticed. So this could be so something about communication, allowing expression. And you weren't blocking like this. These are ways that people often block. They put their hand over their nose or their mouth, but there's something like it sounds like you're wanting to listen to yourself. You're wanting to let your voice come through. And it's almost like you're tickling you a little bit. It's a little like you're blocking, but also like you're wanting to unblock. So I just happen to have the message to not go home. It seems like going backwards. And there's something about you wanting to go forwards that I see another practitioner in particular that's been nodding every time I say that. So that's fun. Hopefully they'll share too. And yeah, and it's so clear that you do love helping people. That resonates so much for me with what I see in your eyes. So I trust that. And just part of what's important is that you care for yourself and follow what feels really good for you too, as well as caring for others. And yeah, so that's just a bit of what's here for me. And yeah, so there's some of the body psychology and how that works. All right, great. Susy and then Jessie. Go ahead, Susy.
Thank you.
Hey, Bethany. I noticed the throat stroking too. So there is some healing to happen around the throat chakra communication. There are times when you haven't expressed who you truly want to be, and in listening to you're like, man, do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? When you said that you wanted to travel and then that you were a nurse, I thought something like Doctors Without Borders would be beneficial. That's you plying your trade, using your knowledge. You've got a lot of healing energy about you. And oh, as soon as I said that, like shunk, all of these guides came in. They're not tribal so much, but you've got like her name is Hildegard von Bingen, and she was a German nun and a saint, and she's saying, and she had these tremendous connections with God, and she poured out all of this healing information, this knowledge she had, and it included not only herbs, but she used sound to heal. And this maybe is a connection with the throat thing. But she comes through, and then there's Mary Magdalene, who said she's standing here saying, yes, you are a healer. Please continue with that, and you can use your healing abilities to travel. But this is a form of travel in that you are actually making every place better by being there. And that's part, I feel, of what your purpose is. Being able to see a bigger picture so you can actually contribute to other consortiums. It feels like there's a consortium involved, where with your travel, you'll be able to see different conditions around it, and you'll be able to contribute to them and give countries ideas for how to improve the health of their populations. One place it feels will become you'll find your soul home there too, whether it's home or your soul home. There will be a really deep connection. It feels like it's going to be arid and part of your beginning. There feels like there's a big chunk of your soul that lives in not quite the Mediterranean, but there is a really deep connection. Is it Egypt? North Africa, it feels, but it could even go down into Central Africa. So there is a deep connection to the land there that's come up a couple of times tonight. So I say, yeah, go ahead and travel, and you can incorporate it into the healing work that you do for those who encounter you. And I'm not getting a timeline, because divine timing, as we've said before, is not the same as human timing. But you will feel very elated when you finally get to that point. Not that excitement that seems over the top, but you're going to know it's going to be like that puzzle piece clicks in, and you're like, okay, this is it. Time to go. Time to do it. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
Okay. Blessings.
Thank you.
Okay, as you touch your throat again. Yeah. Right. So I'd say we think we just get itches, but really our body is giving us signals. Great. Love all that.
That's why I get so paranoid when I'm on screen with Lorelei, because I'm like, oh my God, what does that mean? That's
I do
okay.
this
I'm
too.
good.
It's just, yeah, right. Messages. All right, we've got Jessie and then Kendara. Go ahead.
Hi. So yeah, just about the body part of it. First of all, as soon as I think I want to say it was probably about as soon as you paid. I started having just a really intense tight pain at the back of my neck, at the back of the base of my spine, and some tightness in the front of my throat. And then when you came forward and you were speaking, it got a lot more intense, and I really just wanted to pick up my guitar, and I had to sing a little bit just to open my throat back up and remind myself who I am. So I just want to echo, that about you have some throat issues. While you were speaking, and I don't think I'm saying anything you don't know, but you still have some very, very deep pain that is right on the surface and begging to be allowed. So one of the things that I work with my clients on, when we have a trauma, what happens is we experience just an overwhelm, and it breaks our capacity at that point. It's like one part of us says, oh hell no, I'm getting off the train here. And they jump off the train with the baggage and the situation and the everything, and they think they're still there. But you've gone on, and you're like, no, we're good. We're not there. And so we often deny our ability to tap into our own pain and reconnect with those parts of ourselves because we don't want to have to go back there. But the reality is time doesn't exist. I think it was Susy who said it's a big ball of spaghetti. Time is just the linear construct that allows you to experience your life. It's all happened. It's all happening. It's all already going to happen. It's all in potential. It is. So where you orient yourself is where you are. And right now you have aspects of yourself that are very wounded. So for me, one of the things that helped was to indulge in my pain, to indulge in my grief, to open it. So when I have a pain somewhere, I don't sit there and go, oh gosh, what's wrong with me? I don't try to treat that pain. No, I go and I inhabit it. I get into it. I breathe into the pain. I grow it. I feel what comes to mind. When have I felt this way before? Who's made me feel this way before? When did I experience this? When did I start feeling this way? Can I connect back to that child part of myself that jumped off the train because they couldn't take what was happening? And can I give them a pass to get back on board? Can I bring them back on board? Will I stop the train? You know, so I feel like you're in a doer space and you're trying to find a solution right now, but you need to be in a beer space to feel where that disconnection happened. And that's how we re-bridge, you know, and then we have to rebuild the neuropathy too. Like all the pathways of avoidance are strong, you know, just like when we condition ourselves to avoid moving in a certain way because it hurts. And then we develop another problem as a result of that. So I feel it would be so powerful for you to find somebody that you can trust, whether it's someone like one of us or even just a friend that you really can share that pain and get into it and be held and witnessed while you're in it and not punish yourself or try to make it stop. Indulge to the point where you're bored with it. You just, it's boring. And it's something you can find gratitude for, those experiences. And also I want to echo that Middle East area feels very powerful for you, and Persian culture feels powerful connection. It feels like there's some woundedness there that you're carrying across some stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got Kendara, Angela, and Amanda in line. Go ahead, Kendara.
Hi, Bethany. I'm the one who kept shaking my head no when you said you wanted to go home, and I just got this flat feeling. And the thing is, it's not necessarily you wanting to go home. It's you wanting to go back to the way things were and getting confirmation that it's okay and you are fine. And you've gone past that point, and age 15 is so significant for you. Age 15 was pivotal and transformational for you. And I also got other places for you would be Costa Rica and Colombia. They jumped out. Just beautiful. I don't know what the political situation is, Colombia. I might check that first. Then I did an I Ching reading on you, and I was told to tell you to just go forward and address the issues as they come up, and you're going to find that it's fine. Even if you just address them in your head, you are really to be commended because of how well you've progressed. But again, I do not get you going back home. But I also tell people to do what feels right for you. They said to tell you can go home in your mind. You've got a really strong connection with children. But as Ram Dass says, anywhere you are, you're here. So just allow yourself to communicate. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I got the word dentist for you also. But you're very loved and you're right on the right track. So they said to tell you, go with the flow. You won't be sorry about it. So blessings for you. Thank you.
My dad's a dentist. That might be why.
Going down some dentist. Okay, I'll give it to her.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's great. Thanks, Kendara. All right, Angela, and then Amanda.
I believe it's by small and simple things that great things come to pass. And when you have put yourself in a situation like this, and you're gravitating towards an area of the body, it's, in my opinion, it's a message showing, hey, there's something going on that needs to be released. And I imagine our subconscious mind just giddy, like Bethany. My daughter's name is Bethany. I actually texted her when you got on. I'm like, hey, did you just get on join this event that I'm on? But it's not her. So hi, Bethany. it's like your subconscious mind is giddy, like, Bethany, you're in a room with people who are like-minded. You're in a room with people who have gifts and talents and strengths, and they know how to release this. So, hey, I'm here. I need to just be released. And so that's exciting. And that release can happen. Like, I'm not a very good clicker, but just imagine like that is that acknowledgement and that intention and that desire. And, there are very simple ways that can be released. And I'd like to talk just a little bit about the future. We've talked about the past, but most of what you talked about was about your future. And future you knows exactly what you need. Future you has all the answers. Future you knows where you end up. Future you knows what works. Future you knows how you need to go from here, what needs to happen, the action items. And you can visit with future you anytime. Future you is there waiting for you. And you can, again, use your imagination and just sit with that. Imagine future you who has this clarity, with this clear lens of understanding, with a healthy energy field, with the benefit of hindsight, right? Future you has everything you need. And so if you can have a conversation with future you, and it's so simple. And again, like, we don't have to complicate things. Healing can be so simple. Clarity can be so simple. You can have that conversation and imagine, what message does future you have for me? And you watch what comes. You share your thoughts and feelings. You share what's going on. You share the angst. You share what I heard you say is, I keep getting stuck or stopped or not knowing how to move through this something, right? And we are all, the panelists were all trained in helping people to get to that, get through that. You may or may not need any help from anybody, but you may. But future you knows what path you're meant to take. Future you will give you that impression and raise your frequency so that you can have that come at things now at that higher frequency, so you can have the clarity and the confidence and be in more of that state of gratitude. But you can ask future you, all right, when you've had this little conversation, you've sensed what future you wants you to know. Now you just say, okay, what's my first action item? And you just wait and you see what comes. And don't judge it, just go with it. If it's call your mother or your grandmother, try not to judge it, just accept that. And like, all right, then I will call my grandmother. Thank you. And then when you're ready for more guidance, visit future you again and go with the very first thing that comes. Just trust that. And you can't go wrong. You have what you need. And you also have resources as well. So I wish you well. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
That's great. Thanks so much, Angela. All right, we've got Amanda coming up here in Spotlight.
Okay, so my personal problem is that the length of time between my hand going up and me speaking is so long, it feels like lifetimes. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I was going to say, but I'll say something just because I haven't been saying enough. I feel like I see a lot of shadow outside of your third et on the rune wheel. That has to do with, these are things having to do with like our connection with cosmic consciousness and that kind of thing. And I got the impression that it has to do with maybe you needing to, or you benefiting from changing the way you see faith, changing the way you see like your connection to your any kind of faith that you have in, like maybe not religion, but it could be like religious stuff from your past or that kind of thing, or something like faith-based that you grew up with, and then now like it's time for like a shift, and so that you can like kind of change your relationship to faith. Does that make sense? Okay, nodding, thank you. Okay, all right, cool. And I also see some shadow on the outside of the gabo space. If you can see, there's like a little gap. Gabo's the rune having to do with giving and receiving. I always read this connecting with relationship. It also has to do with boundary setting. So I feel like home has boundary setting issues for you, and like in that kind of whole thing. And I feel like doing something different is going to help you figure out like, this is where I end and where the world begins, and like your sense of separateness and like your sense of your own identity, which I think would be really good for you. Because I feel like you really are more connected and know what it feels like to be connected to everything, but more like just being with yourself, and that kind of sense of like separateness would be good for you. Okay.
Is anything here for you just before you stop? It's interesting how gray it is.
Yeah. Right here.
The whole thing. It's all very black and white and gray in contrast to what often shows up.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's probably because there's fog and like not you're not seeing clearly. So there's like uncertainty and like not, yeah. So maybe like a thick gray fog would be like a feeling of it.
And sorry, I didn't hear the whole thing. Did you say anything about the one room that's open, that's empty?
I did. That was Gabo. That was the relationship and boundary setting.
And then and again, you said all this. Did you say anything about the tail that's pointing to it though, that has like the balls and then there are dots and
wait, what?
It's almost like a whip.
Oh, down there?
No, there's that too, but I mean the black with the yellow around it to the left. Move your pen to the left.
Here.
Yes.
Oh, look what's coming up. This was actually connected to this other rune wheel, but because it's here, it's also connected to this one. Let me think it. Hold, please. Let me see if I can get something for this one. I feel like this looks like an antenna of sorts, but it's like an antenna with like, I feel like an actual antenna would just be like straight and like pointy, but this has like balls on it. And it has to do with, I always draw circles with energy focal points. So this could have to do with piecing things together to strengthen an antenna. And then an antenna would be like using your antenna to connect with spirit. Also, the rune that I connect with the antenna, Algi's, is like an antenna, and that's partway open. So it'd be good to work on protection. It'd be good to work with spirit guides and like strengthening your antenna. And it's also like coming up the side of this fog. So that will help get through the fog. So we'll know what to do. Okay. Thank you, Lorelei, for guiding me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, and we got to get you in here sooner when you put your hand up. All right, let me get some other people pinned in here again. All right, and the next one is going to be Galactic Ashley. So let me get Galactic Ashley up here with you. Okay, go ahead.
This is going to be short because don't want to repeat what everyone else has said, but essentially I agree. But one of the things that keeps happening is I keep yawning. So if anybody's seen me laugh, I'm not laughing at anyone. I'm just laughing at the fact that I keep yawning because it's very strange for me, especially at these events, but I like cannot stop yawning. So it also made me wonder about your sleep. Okay, first of all, you said you were a nurse, correct? And I don't know about you or how you work, but I know that my nursing friends are just like down and out. Some of them full on picked up and left. At a couple, one went to Puerto Rico, like they moved with their families. They were just like, there's like too much. It just became too much. So I just, regardless of where you work in the nursing environment, I just want to say thank you for all of the work that you've been doing during these super crazy times. And are you tired?
No, I've actually been getting the best sleep of my life because I work a swing shift. and it's only 8 hours. So
Okay, good. Because one of the things that I got was to honor your sleep time as a rejuvenation time, and that it will contribute to help you with having more clarity. And then the other thing that came up was to give yourself permission to heal, but also to give yourself permission to like really desire, like, because it feels like there needs to be some kind of spark or something to bring up a passion or a drive that would help bring in some what I call like clarity of motivation, purity of motivation. So it's like being motivated by your desires rather than by taking actions and to avoid what we perceive as a negative consequence. And so those are like very different energies. And then the other thing that came up was Bethlehem. Not as like a place to go, but the message that was coming through was Bethlehem is like a place that like multiple religions can exist in one place, right? And that's very, very rare for that area of the world, right? So allowing everything to coexist together and to harness the power of that coexistence without making any of the parts wrong for existing. So that has to do like with you, like allowing all of your parts to just come in and to exist and to harness that power without making any parts of you wrong for being and for existing, and getting to know them. Because whether we see something as a dark or light within us, even the darker parts are going to have a power that we can really harness and that we can bring about and use as we move into our life. I've got a big hit, just like everyone else, that traveling would be really good for you, but not in this very second. That there's still like a rejuvenation or what the Arcturians called a regenesis that's happening within you. I also got a nod about going back, because it is going back. And I don't know if you have children or parents, or you're creating a storyline that somebody needs you. But I think that it feels to me like you can give yourself permission to let go of the needs that others put onto you, and to honor yourself, and start looking at your own needs as having the priority.
thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, that's great. Anyone have anything else to share with Bethany before we? All right, great. Thank you so much, Bethany, for your lovely question. And yeah, and
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. Did you want to share something?
Well, I forget her name. She was saying that everybody's been saying there's stuff that needs to be healed. And I guess I feel like I've done a lot of work and I don't know what else to do. And so, she made some suggestions, but
So I'm not sure what that practitioner specifically was referring to, so they are welcome to jump back on and share. What I can see is it's possible that your second talent is priest priestess, which is about emotions and seeing not only what's here, seeing what's possible, right? Wanting to inspire and motivate people to stretch and reach for what's possible. And when it's the second talent, we often give those messages to ourselves, like, and we can be hard on ourselves, thinking we need to grow and we need to be better and we need to be perfect. And so if you've had a tendency in your life to be harder on you than other people, and you've been a bit of a perfectionist with yourself, that's probably going to be the biggest thing, just that's most likely in your way to heal you, right? It's trusting you that you know the answer, and that your answer is good, and that you are good, like however you're showing up is good, and that you're enough. And then let's see, so more people have jumped in. So Jessie and Kendara, keep in mind, everyone, we've got one more reading left too, so go ahead.
Sorry, my microphone was over there.
Yes,
am I who you were talking about?
yeah, Jessie.
Okay, I got that feeling, and I had a feeling. I put my hand up, but then I was like, well, I've been talking a lot, and so, one of the things that when we have those, I always tell my clients that when healing comes up and it's around an issue that you've already dealt with, we tend to start to get into a self-criticism place like, God, I already did this. Why, I already addressed this. What's wrong with it? And literally right before this panel, I had a client on my couch saying those exact words. Here's the deal. It's because you've done this healing work that the true depth of it is ready to come up. And you are in a space where you're not triggered and you're not traumatized and you're not in the old patterns. And so with your whole awareness, your whole adult self, you can hold yourself while you go into those pains. In the past, the old system, it's like we needed everything to break around us in order to be able to start addressing what the problem is, to even know where it was. So here's one of the things I teach in my Life Mastery program. Our soul is a relentless teacher. It is relentlessly attempting to get our attention. It's way more relentless than our stubbornness to hold on to the easy and auto-programmed pathways and ways of being that we stored as children. So what we have to remember is that our soul starts by an inspired idea, an inspired thought. When we get that inspired idea, if we ignore it, let's say the inspired idea is, I'm really not enjoying this conversation with this person and I kind of want to go, but we don't. We say, oh, I should stay because we're not done with dinner. It'd be rude. I promised I'd be here. So we ignore the inspiration, and then maybe something starts happening and we start to feel discomfort. So the discomfort comes in, and if we ignore discomfort, then it starts to be painful. Usually if I ignore discomfort and I want to leave somewhere, I start getting a headache, or I start feeling sick to my stomach, or maybe something happens, I get a phone call. It depends on how comfortable I am with where I'm at. And so if we miss that pain, then it becomes suffering. Pain is our teacher that says you missed your soul lesson that came up because we're avoiding discomfort. We're avoiding the discomfort because we imagine it is going to come from that inspired action, right? And if we ignore all of that, in the inspiration, the discomfort, the pain, the suffering, then we have breaking. Then something just breaks. We get into a fight with somebody, we personalize something, we get triggered, and then we're justified in going into our reverted, triggered state. And this is why fractured state work is just so important, because it's those auto programs that run when we get triggered. And oftentimes this triggering, it's not big and catastrophic. It's little. It's these little ways that we shut ourselves down and silence us that become much bigger later on. Issues and challenges. One of, I can't remember the name of the psychologist, but she was talking about toxic relationships and how we always think toxic relationships are so harmful, but generally we know that person's toxic. And so we handle with a little more care and awareness. The real toxic relationships are apathetic relationships. Did I really enjoy that conversation? Do I feel like that person is celebrating my success that I shared with them? Do I believe this friend really cares for me? And those are programs that usually are written in early childhood and how we feel received by our parents. So early we don't even remember it. It's not conscious. So this is where fractures come into play. And there's a lot of different ways you can address it. Jungian theory talks about it too. Sorry.
Yeah, just Jessie, if you could be quick in how you.
I mean, you can contact me if you want to talk more about it, but there's a lot of different ways it can be addressed.
Okay. Thank you.
Jessie. All right, Kendara, go ahead, and then we'll be finishing your question up.
Just a couple really quick things to add, Bethany. First thing is, it's not that you're not healed and working on it already, but accept that you are. You don't really need to do much more. I did an I Ching reading on you, but I didn't mention it. And what it said was just to address the issues as they come up with people you need to, even from the past. And you will be amazed at how clearly it goes. Because a lot of times when something's bothering you, it's bothering the other person as well. So it'll be a relief and a release. So just wanted to throw that in.
Thank you.
All right, great. Bethany, I hope that gave you some clarity from where we were heading. And you're muted, sorry.
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Great. You're welcome. All right, cool. All right. Let's see. So then we've got our last reading of the night. And by the way, I've been posting in the chat, everyone, if you're willing to give us some feedback on the event and fill out our form, I put a link in the chat. Give us your email address and we'll enter you into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. So please fill out the form and give us your feedback. It would really help us. We want to keep making these events better and better and better. And Andrea is next. All right, let's go find you, Andrea, so I can pin you. And you are our final question of the night. Where, aha, here we go. All right, great, Andrea, go ahead. What is your question?
Hey, I did it. Hey, Ashley, it looks like you've been busy with your background. Love it. Let's see. Hi, everyone. So let's see first, if anybody gets any channeled messages, I'm happy to accept those. So the last time I had said something, I was talking about how like I was not seeing any paths to the future at all. Like it was black, blank, nothingness. So talking to the future self was not available. Future self was in a black hole somewhere. But since then, things have opened up a little bit. And I'm considering selling my house and moving someplace. I'm not quite sure where. So wondering about that and possible timeline for that. I know time's really hard, but and also if any of you all see me working at all outside of the home. And I think that's all. That's all. Just let's see, money, love, marriage.
It's great. It's great. It's great. Go ahead. Is there something else you want to share about it? It's fine.
Just like, yeah, any other thing that you're getting is fine too.
Yeah, it sounds like you're open for what comes through. All right, Amanda is ready to go first. Let me get her drawing right here spotlighted for everyone. All right, go ahead, Amanda.
All right, here is you. You're kind of like, this was the reading for the person that had to do with, she had a lot of options open to her. She didn't know about like what she was going to pick. And then I was saying that like, it's hard to move. Moving's hard. Just as like, so after Corona and everything, it's hard for everyone to like make change, right? It's like a global thing. Now I have you as being like, the reason I'm saying that is because you're like in the belly of this rune wheel in a way, right? So it's just curious. Let me figure this out. I see a lot of need to integrate between the rune connected with the mystic and the rune connected with things outside your consciousness. So I still feel like there is definitely healing work that would benefit you. And I see red around the outside, and red has to do with things that could be healed. But I also see green on the inside, and green is like, I connect that with the heart chakra. So I actually see that you have a really strong heart chakra because there's no break in the wheel. It's like a solid circle. There's a little zigzag here, but it's not really a break because the green goes right through it. So don't think that's a break. And let's see, what else did I see? I think moving, you said selling your house. I think moving for you will pose a lot of challenges. I mean, maybe they're the challenges that you want to face now, which is also great, but you also could face challenges without moving. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's like,
it can be challenging. Yes, it can.
What do you want to like deal with now? Because like, but I feel like, wait a minute. And then you said working outside the home, doing something outside the home, and definitely 100%, yes, because that's going to, I feel like that's what you actually really need to do to move forward with your healing. There's like only so much you can do inside the house. And then if you connect with things outside the house, it's going to take you to the next. You won't feel so confused. It'll help you clarify inside the home and inside yourself more if you expand your world. Okay. That's what I got.
That's a beautiful, beautiful picture.
Oh, thank you. All right, good luck.
And Amanda, share all your contact info so people can find you on the web.
Oh, put it in.
No, share it in the video so that it's in the video too.
Oh, share. What do you mean? Oh, like say it out loud?
Say it out loud so people in the video, yes.
Sorry, after all this time, I'm like, I can't process English anymore. Okay, I'm Amanda Root. I do artistic runes and intuition. I use tarot, runes, intuitive art, and I essentially draw readings. I draw the reading and then I read it for you based on the symbols, runes, color, number, and each one of them is drawn personally for whoever the reading's for. And I'm at snowmoontarot.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Amanda. It's been lovely having you here.
Thank you, Lorelei. Bye, you guys.
Bye, Amanda. All right. And we've got more people in line to answer Andrea's question. All right. We've got Jessie and Susy. Jessie, oh, let's get you pinned. Although, let me find. Whoa, got to find Andrea first. Oh, there we go. Okay. Andrea, coming to the front. Susy coming next. All right, go ahead. Please. Oh, Jessie.
I pulled 3 cards for you. Again, from the Angelarium deck. The first one that came up was Gabriel. So Gabriel is the angel of this. In this deck, they call him the angel of the heralds. In Islam, they believe that Gabriel is the angel of the prophets, and that he comes to us when we're ready to start taking on our divine work. It's described that the Prophet Muhammad, when he would be talking with Gabriel, he would start to sweat and he would start to feel heavy. And that at one time a camel buckled his knees under the weight of the prophet holding the conversation with Gabriel. And so Gabriel, for me, was a huge consciousness that came in when I was ready to start working. And I've really been feeling through most of the night just this very strong energy coming into my crown. My crown's been really expansive, feeling I want to like scratch my head and just move my hair around. And I feel like my hair has just been pressed flat through the night. That's very Gabriel-like energy, just this expansion. So you can tune into Gabriel. That he's generally considered the angelic consciousness that's a direct conduit into source consciousness. And helps us really clarify that source purpose and meaning. I want to echo also, I saw Verdancy at Suchlaugh, who's the angel of verdancy and growth, and just really like getting down to some grassroots service. When I have people who are working on trying to understand how they want to build their path, I ask, well, where do you feel called to serve? If somebody were willing to pay you for that, what would you do? Because there's a lot of unexpected benefits and rewards and opportunities that come from that service, as well as just growing and fostering within us the direction of service, and then the path starts to show itself to you. And then I also got the angel of divination, which is Istabus. And this was inverted. So one of the things that happens to many of us, especially those of us who are precogging, like as a child, I used to dream my future and always, pre-plan out, 10 steps ahead. And I was able to intuit how much my grocery bill was going to cost to the few pennies, everything I was doing it that way. And then suddenly just this quiet came. Well, we have to surrender, especially if we're here to serve the divine. We have to surrender from what we want and believe to be and start answering that call. And Gabriel is definitely talking to you.
Thank you.
All right, Susy is next. Go ahead, Susy.
Hey, Andrea. So while Gabriel is talking to you, the Magdalene comes through and she explains that in many of these divination tools people use, there is often a blank mystery, a void that is giving you a moment to be calm within, to determine what path you choose to take. There is a fog in front of you. You have placed it in front of you. It is not one that is placed willingly. It is one in which you question everything. It is time to choose your path. You have that privilege in which you can choose what it is you wish to do. As the blonde one says, you may listen to your intuition, as you may choose where you wish to go. There are many beings coming at you, hoping to support you, and yet you choose which one to call upon. Guides will not come in without your permission. So any of the guides come through, I will come through to provide you with that unknown wisdom if you so choose. We use choose quite a bit here because it is your free will. You are very much aware of your sovereignty, and it feels you are on the verge of giving it over to something you do not want it to go to. Your domicile, you may sell it whenever you wish. Listen to the timing of it. I am not a real estate agent. I am one who reads energy. So listen to the energy of your home. Be ready to release it. Thank it for providing shelter for me, from keeping me from winds and rain and this weather, and providing warmth and comfort to me. Thank it. And when it is ready to move on, when you are ready to move on, the house will move quickly. But these are choices you can choose. Take time to look at your variety of your paths. Talk to your future self and see, where did she go? How did she get there? You have multiple future selves. This one has said time is all at once. Pick one. How did you go? Does it resonate with you? Fine. If it does not, thank it. Let it move on. This is why you are seeing the gray about you, because you are not quite sure. Explore the possibilities, and you will find something that resonates with you, that makes your heart sing. You need not settle for humming or a little ditty. Find something that brings forth full, beautiful music in your heart. Does this make sense to you, my dear?
Yes, it does. So remember the last time when I was saying there's nothing there, and this is very unusual for me, that there's nothing there and it's black and there's nothing there. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about normally I have a lot of futures, a lot of past, a lot of options, a lot of stuff going on in the future. And there was nothing for a very long time. And it kind of was starting to freak me out, to be honest with you. So
when
thank
one
you.
faces the abyss, one feels, oh, this one brings up the poster. You may jump in, and whether you fly or you fall on your face, give yourself that choice to fly. Blessings.
You.
All right, and we've got Galactic Ashley next. Go ahead, Galactic Ashley.
I just wanted to. Okay, so first you mentioned something about seeing, and so I just want to remind everyone that sometimes we think we aren't seeing, but we're just visioning differently. And so a really obvious, not an obvious, but a really specific example is like when I was a lot younger, like I knew that I could see, but I didn't think I was seeing like everyone else, like in the movie The Sixth Sense. So I'm like, I don't see, but really I was seeing everything everywhere all the time, right? So if we release expectations around how we're supposed to see, oftentimes the ways that we are designed to see can present themselves. I didn't feel into the darkness that you say that you are experiencing, but if you've been doing a lot of work, sometimes you are in that threshold space of the 0 point energy, which is basically the manifest and unmanifest, which it looks like nothing, but it is the potentiality of everything, and that is the creator space. So what I'm getting about the opportunity for your home is that the home is the mirror for the self. And so it has many messages for you. And so to sit and embody like those messages. And so it could be, how does it move at night? How does it creak? Are there plumbing problems? Are there cracks in the foundation? Because it can really show so much to you about where it is that maybe you still might need healing, about how you're running your own energy and how we interact with our home. And to do this without compassion, without judgment, with compassionate observation, just in case you have a room that's like filled with stuff in it, like it's okay. It's just look at it, because these are all messages. And the point of that is, what came through was to check your motivation and work through the energies that are motivating you to sell. So this is completely neutral. I'm not getting to sell it or not to sell it, but similar to, I think, what Jessie said, or the Magdalene said, it was to know that you have a choice to sell, but also to know that not to decide is to decide. And it's much more powerful to decide and to choose with your voice out loud, even if nobody's there, like I'm choosing not to sell it, or I'm choosing to sell it, and to know why you're being guided to sell it. If you're wanting to sell it because you're having a scarcity mindset about maybe financial situation and you want to go smaller, or you're trying to leave a situation, if you haven't dealt with whatever that situation is, that situation will follow you wherever you go, no matter if you sell or not sell. So these are just things to think about and to explore with the home, similar to what the root said. Amanda, sorry, I kept on wanting to call her Angela. We have Angela, but what Amanda said is, I do feel like there will be challenges in selling and not selling. So to maybe figure to look into how are you feeling emotionally and energetically, and to sit with the sale of your house, because it does feel like a really big sort of choice, but not to put so much pressure on it, right? Because I think it's also important to remember that when we make decisions, we have full permission to change our mind. That decision does not make or break us for the rest of our existence, but there's these parts of us that were like, if I make this choice, that is it. I can never change my mind. That is like an ego thing. That is us feeling that because we change our mind, we've made a mistake, and that's not true. So to free yourself from all of that, but to really, I feel like the house has a lot of messages for you that can also pertain to your own health. So just looking at the house as the mirror of the self.
Thank you.
All right, great. Practitioners, anyone have anything else you want to share with Andrea? Let's see, oh, Kendara's got something. Go ahead, Kendara.
I didn't know that I did, but as I was sitting here listening to everybody and what Ashley said, it came to me that as long as you're where you're at and work on the parts of yourself that you would like to work on, the opportunity to move will fall right into place for you. That's all you have to do. And like Ashley said, you can change your mind, but work on what's easiest for you right now. And then you'll know when to move and it'll open up for you. So that's all I wanted to add.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you have a fairly solid, heavy in some ways energy, not heavy necessarily as bad, but it takes some energy to move you in some ways. It just seems like you part of maybe what was happening before is that you were depressed. And I feel like you haven't fully shifted out of that space. There still is a little bit of a sadness, a heaviness that's here. Something that someone was sharing earlier had me wonder if maybe the opportunity is to rent out your house and not to sell it. But, right now people are definitely, things are trading around and selling could happen. Where are you? What city are you in now?
In North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
The market's really hot right now. This house is really big, and I've been looking to sell for quite a while, and I've just kind of been waiting for the price point to be where I want it to be.
It sounds like it's a good opportunity. Your energy doesn't particularly feel like North Carolina, so that's why it's interesting to me to see, where you are. Yeah, so you smiled a lot right there. Wasn't I saying that your energy doesn't particularly feel like North Carolina to me?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what my energy feels like it should be, but it's here right now. So it served its purpose. It's been good to me. I can't find it's a nice place.
That's great. Seems like it's a good opportunity to take advantage of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, so this is the thing. If I put the house on the market, it would sell tomorrow for more than I asked for it. That's how hot the market is here. But then I say, and then what do we do?
I don't think you have to know
So-
what it is right now. It seems like, so my sense is that you really like taking steps to get into action. That you, when there's a problem in front of you, you know what you want to do in terms of solving the problem. But I think that you've got a journey to get in touch with your heart and to know what your heart really wants. And I don't know that you have to wait to do that. It seems like getting fluid and getting moving in some ways is a way that you'll find it.
Yeah.
All right, Jessie's got something to share too. Oh, maybe yes, maybe no. Did you
Well,
want?
I will. I'll just say this really quickly. A very dear friend of mine, actually, he just sold his house in Washington and he had no idea where he was going to go. And like everybody was asking him, his mom really wanted to know. And like, she's all, I'm really worried you don't have a plan. And then he just kept coming up with plans to satisfy these people who wanted to know. So he was all like, I'm going to go on an Airbnb tour of the country and see where I feel right. And the funny thing was where he was moving to was North Carolina or Tennessee, right? And so then he went and stayed in an Airbnb in North Carolina. He's like, nope. And then he went back to Tennessee. He's like, nope. And, so he is on this journey right now and he is discovering himself because he's giving himself permission to let go of all these expectations. He's going where he feels called. And he's, we're 44, we're the same age. And he's like, Jessie, I wish I'd have done this a long time ago. Like, I really do. So I agree with what people are saying about you don't have to necessarily know. And sometimes we have to be willing to jump in order for the universe to see that we need somewhere to land.
Yeah, it's kind of a big thing. I mean, if it was just me, I'd be like, sold, gone, I'm off. But it's my husband and I've got a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old as well. So, my husband's like good to go wherever. But the 9-year-old and an 11-year-old, because they've been out of school with, this COVID and have been going to online school and they're still in online school and I've signed them up to be online school for next year too, just in case we don't know where we are. But I mean, the 11-year-old's going to be going into middle school next year. So I kind of feel like if, need to sell now and go somewhere else to, so that they can start putting roots down. Because if I stay and she starts middle school and gets, hooked into there, then I'm going to be like kind of obligated to stay because I couldn't wouldn't want to rip them
feel
up.
like you're on this it's almost, like it feels like you're on this slippery stone, like this stone that can just kind of move right now and it doesn't have purpose or direction. But one of the things that's really important is that you figure out where your passion and because you're a family group, I mean your family group passion is. So maybe sit down with your family and watch some Travel Channel stuff, watch some, documentaries about different areas, maybe be like, hey guys, if we picked 5 places in the country, we want to go visit them with this excess money we're going to get from the house and just check out a few places over the next few months. Where would you want to dream and go? Engage the kids. You have no idea what they might offer as some really great ideas. And just get curious, Get curious, get adventurous. I think somebody talked earlier about this. Tapping into your childlike joy and wonder is your manifestation machine. Like that is how you get drive going. Get creative, get curious, and playful.
Yeah, that kind of came to me today. It's like, well, we wouldn't have to go move somewhere like right away if if the house sells and they're signed up for online school, we could go to Mexico for 6 months, or we could go to, wherever for a few months, or we could go. So
Yeah.
that was,
Yes,
that
exactly.
was kind of
Get out
a
of the
thought
box.
too, to not like, there is an area that I would like to move to that's 4 hours away from here in Virginia, but my husband's parents are in their upper 90s and it's 4 hours from them. And so I don't know that I feel really comfortable like buying a place immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you have time.
Yeah.
Tax wise, you have time.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Yeah. So
Several of us in the chat are agreeing about involving the kids in the decision, and then Galactic actually mentioned too. Yeah, they'll feel more involved, like they'll want to move more. Like everyone will go along with the journey.
do you all see me getting physically better? I'm going to Texas to go get a possible vaccination to reset my immune system because I've been very ill for quite a long time. And I'm hoping I'll get better. And that's why I was asking about working outside of the home, is because I haven't been able to work outside of the home because of my health. So
your
y'all see
whole
me
signal
healthy?
just started to shut down as you started talking about your health, and and everything about your demeanor and energetics shifted. So the reality of disease is it comes from a misalignment of our soul and our physical reality, what our true self wants, what our true desire is, and what our physical relationship is. That's where disease comes from. And when your immune system is needing a reset, I know for myself, I needed to completely reset my immune system, and I did so through fasting, through periods of 72-hour and then a solid 72-hour dry and wet fast, and then a full 28-day fast. And that was a really big change of my relationship with my body. But your house is a representation of your body, and you haven't wanted to live in it for a long time. So I asked, do you want to live in your house? Do you want to live in your body? And if you don't, feel that relationship, heal that relationship, if you want to heal your health.
Yeah. Kind of, I know, and we got to finish up here too. I just, there's something like you have a lot of strength that comes through you, and it feels very like held back right now too. So if there's anything from your history, any old relationships where you haven't fully felt the anger of that, I think that's important too. And it just, yeah, it's like something old that you're dragging around could be part of what the heaviness is and part of why your body's having a hard time. And I see some other nodding happening too. Yeah. And I think anger is a good thing. I distinguish between anger and aggression. Anger is yes and no. So it's being able to, and going backwards and saying no now to what didn't work from before. Kendara has a little bit to share about that. Go ahead, Kendara. And then, yeah, we'll be finishing up after this. Go ahead. Kendara, you're muted.
Unmute. Okay. I got this really strongly just like half a minute ago. There's part of you that feels obligated to other people, and you don't need to. Just do what you want to do, and it'll fall out so many times better. Don't hold yourself back in any way, shape, or form, because you feel on some level that they might not understand, or you might. Don't. Just shine your light, and you will be amazed at the support you'll get, because you're on the right track. So just wanted to throw that out for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, great. Well, thanks so much, Kendara. Well, thanks
everybody.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know we wandered around with all the different things, so hopefully, yeah, that gives you some ways of connecting to yourself, trusting yourself, and seeing ways to flow and move. All right, let me put everybody on gallery again. And so practitioners, we're going to go all around and make sure I get all the pins off. There we go. So we're going to go all around practitioners and share again who we are, what we offer, and where people can find us online. So it's here in the video too. And then Marian, I didn't get a chance to go back and forth with you about the chat. So if this works for you, when we're all done, if you'd be willing to close out with some singing, your voice, which is beautiful. So if you feel called to that, if that works for you, that would be lovely. We can do that at the end. I see you smiling, so maybe that'll work. All right, great. Yeah, so let's go through, let's see, practitioners, whoever wants to jump in, go ahead, share your name, your modalities, how people can find you online. If you want to share your special again too. Who wants to jump in? Go
I'm
ahead.
Susy Parker Goins. I'm Susy Parker Goins with Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel, energy healer, past life explorer. We do what we need to together, you, me, and your guides, to get you in a place where you can work and you can learn the tools, that everything that we do, so you can continue on your path to healing. You can find me at www.bluelightninghealing.com. I've got a podcast on Amazon and Spotify, Transformation Talk Radio, called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. You can contact me at Susy at bluelightninghealing.com. That's SUSY. And my special is $60 for 30 minutes and $100 for an hour. And that's going to go up in what's the next month, May. So take advantage of that now. I enjoyed this so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this and holding the space. Blessings.
Thanks, Susie. All right, who else wants to jump in and share? Practitioners.
I'll go. I'm Jessie Starr. My practice is healingpathwalkers.com. You can read all about my various programs. I've been teaching online for the last 6 years, Life Mastery. We just started Life Mastery up last night for its first run for the year. And it's going to be running again Tuesday night. If you want to join in, you still can catch it in our class. It's a building your own connections with your own healing, your own self-awareness, and giving you powerful tools and meditations as well as energy work. I also teach an A to Z, your guide to energy, and an experiential energy training program to help you learn discernment and to be able to enhance your own natural connection with your energetic fields. I'm super excited to be joining the panel on Sunday with Laureli on careers and education and how to start building that pathway forward. So a lot of you, it sounds like, could benefit from coming to that too. Again, I'm offering a 22% off on any readings or specials scheduled with me from attending the panel. And I'm at Jessie at healingpathwalkers.com if you want to email me. I offer everyone who comes new to me a 30-minute free consultation to see how my programs, sessions, or work might fit with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessie. All right, practitioners, who else wants to jump in?
I'll go. Hi, I'm Galactic Ashley. I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing transmissions and encoded activations. I have a 10-week program called the Light Language Activation and Healing Program, and registration is still open for a few more days. But it is essentially one of my favorite galactic guided intensives that I teach each year. Light language has profoundly shifted and changed my own life, especially when I was able to realize and recognize that that's what I have always been using and was able to consciously use it. It has been not only healing and transformational, but it's basically, for me, a way that I express spiritual devotion, and it is integrated in with my channeling and the way that I am able to communicate with cosmic as well as my multi-dimensional beings and even with myself and my physical body as well. So I invite all of you to check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm offering a $25 discount off of registration for those that are here today. I also have a few events coming up this weekend. One with Susy. We were connecting people with their animal guides tomorrow, and then another one on Sunday with the Crystal Skull Council. It's a hybrid of receiving an activation and also working in a spiritual development group. And you can get a hold of me at galacticashley.com. And I'm also on Instagram at Galactic Ashley and on Facebook at Get Your Galactic Groove On. So thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thanks so much for sharing. All right, who's next? We've got whatever order you want to choose. We've got.
I'll go
Kendara.
next.
Go ahead.
Well, my name's Kendara Laurel, and basically I can be reached at my website, which is kendaralaurel.com, or emailed kendaralaurel@gmail.com. I have an introduction to Metaphysics Meetup, and I am offering some things. We're going to be having a meetup this Saturday from 12 to 2 with an incredible astrologer whose name is Carly Wharton. And I teach a free online class in psychic development the third Monday of every month. So if you go to meetup.com, Introduction to Metaphysics, or just contact me, I'd love to have you join me. So thank you.
Great. I got Angela and Marian, whatever order, and then we'll come back to you, Marian, at the end too. Go ahead. Whatever. Hey, Angela, go ahead.
I work with people who feel stressed, anxious, overwhelmed to equip them to live an even more exceptional life. If you imagine a reservoir of white light, it's sparkly and full of love and light. I help my clients tap into that energy and raise their frequency. So their frequency is harmonizing more really where it's meant to be harmonizing. And it's a process of helping them remember who they really are. And I have learned how to take some of the things that I share with my clients to a larger audience. And that is so fun for me because not everyone can afford to work with me. Not everyone feels it's a good match, but they're open to showing up in an audience. And I want to give them as much as I can possibly give them because this work is so transformative and important, and everyone has their own personal mission. So one of the things that I have on my calendar that I offer you a discount on is a workshop, Harnessing the Power of Your Subconscious Mind to Confidently Share Messages That Connect. And my heart, I have a lot of practitioners, a lot of healthcare practitioners, health energy workers, people who are in the holistic healthcare industry. And one of my passions is to help healing learners become healing earners. There's a lot of practitioners who get trained in this and this and this and this and this, and they don't ever really rev their business up. And so this is one part of the way that I support people in that industry, especially because there are so many people who are meant to be working with you. And one of those ways is to figure out how to share our message in a way that we can enlarge our circle of influence. And so we'll be playing in that sandbox on April 19th. I hope you can join us. It's from 9 to 11. And it's not just for healing practitioners. It's for anyone who has a message they want to share with the world, something that makes your heart sing. We're going to play in that sandbox, and it's going to be interactive, connective, and fun.
And tell us your name also and where people can find you online.
Oh, me, AngelaBarrus.com. My website's transitioning over to, it's going to be spectacular on Sunday. So I'm hoping it's not glitchy for a little bit, but AngelaBarrus.com, AngelaBarrus@gmail.com. And I'd love to just hear from you, any successes, any observations that you've gained from this evening. I love to celebrate your progress and healing. So thank you.
And that's spelled AngelaBarrus.com. Great. All right, Marian, do you want to share about yourself? And then I'll share a little bit about myself and the fair, and then we'll come back to you if you're willing to close out that way.
Alrighty. My name's Marian Chariat. I don't have a website yet. I don't have a Facebook page yet, and I don't have a special email yet. I'm still getting set up, but I will give all that information to Laureli, and you can contact her, and then she can contact me. Um,
And tell us the modalities that you offer.
Reiki, spiritual response therapy, soul retrieval, readings with the what if cards and the runes for answers that kind of give us a place to start so that I know where to go from there. And it's always different every time.
That's great. Yeah, and anyone that wants to reach you, they can reach out to me and I will get them in touch with you.
All right.
Great.
And I don't have a special yet because I don't know what to, I'm just starting out.
Great.
Again, I used to do this when I lived in Washington.
It's cool. It's great. You're doing it. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach. I'm a matchmaker, career guide. I'm here for you to shine and be who you are, to shine the beauty and the power of who you are in the world, to make an impact, to feel fulfillment. And I also run these events. MeWeFairs.com is a place you can find us online, MEWEFAIRS.com. Someone mentioned the panel we have coming up on Sunday. It's a panel on career paths, jobs, education, and purpose. It's specifically, some of it's how you know what your purpose is, but really it's how do you take grounded steps that implement your purpose? What are steps that get in your way, and what are steps that really support you and empower you? And then that's at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. And then we've also got a fair coming up on the 17th. I think we've got close to 20 practitioners in this fair. We're going to have about probably 35 free talks. And then Monday, April 19 is Angela's workshop, Harness the Power of Your Subconscious Mind to Confidently Share Intuitive Messages That Connect. That's MeWe sponsored. We're starting new things here. Friday, April 23, we have a panel on disentangling from toxic relationships. That might be in yourself. That might be with people that used to be in your life, people that are in your life now. Sunday, April 25, panel on animal communication and healing. Thursday, April 29, panel on Beltane bonfires. Saturday, May 8, Don't Feed the Medium. And we've got many, many more events. Let me just give you, if I can open it really fast. We were brainstorming all kinds of topics. So I just want to give you a sense of the fun we were having just coming up with topics. These have not been scheduled yet, but practitioners, you get the first sense that these are coming. They are Introduction to Metaphysics for Kids, Support for Parents and Guardians, Conscious Sexuality, Deciphering Dreams and Lucid Dreaming, Building Badass Boundaries, Cultivating Self-Care, Ascension Without Attachment, Venturing Along Inside Voices, Untying Knots and Releasing Blockages, Beliefs, Blocks, and Transformation, Past Lives and Karma, Shadows and Shame, Gratitude and Grace, Vices, Virtues, and Vibrancy, Crystal Skulls and Channeling, Medical, Mental Health, and Personality Intuition, Generational Toxicity and Trauma, Flora, Herbs, Flowers, and Fae, Third to Fifth Dimension, Narcissism, Archetypes for Growth and Enlightenment, Astrology, Soulmates, Twin Flames, and Relationships. Possibly a BIPOC panel for a BIPOC audience that we'll do at no charge. For us, we'll be paying all the practitioners that show up at the panel. Soul and spirit connections. Those are some of the ideas that we have, and we're totally open to more ideas too. All right, lots we're going to do here over the next few months. All right, well, let's see. So thank you so much for coming, for being here, for everyone holding all the space together. Practitioners, thank you so much for being here and sharing generously. There's information on all the practitioners in the chat. If you want to save the chat, go into the chat on the right side, click the 3 dots and you can click Save Chat. If you want to reach out to anyone and you can't find your way there to them, please reach out to me, either at MeWeFairs.com or I didn't say for myself, Laureli Shimayo is at LaureliShimayo, and my sessions are 40% off if you sign up from having been here at the event. Sign up here in the next few days. And great. All right, Marian, if there's some way that you want to share with us on the way out, your expression earlier was so beautiful, and that would be lovely. And usually we allow people to unmute and share on the way out, but probably after Marian sings, we'll have everyone leave quietly. Angela asked if you have any feedback you'd love to share. If you could write that in the chat, that would be great. And we also have the feedback form, and I'm going to put the feedback form in the chat one more time too. If you have an opportunity to fill that out, that would be great, and you'll be entered into a drawing if you give us your email address. All right, Marian.
All right. Shalom, my friend. Shalom, my friend. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, my friend.
Shalom, my friend. Shalom. Shalom.
Let's make sure I didn't get any practitioners out there in the waiting room. I don't think I did. Jessie, I left and came back.
We're still recording.
Oh yeah, thanks so much. Thanks everyone for being here with us.